Hey, Marvel fan, if you're still here, I hope you're still here. Let me check the comments on the other app. Actually, I can, at least I'm not on camera because there's stains and shit on my shirt. Pause. Um, I will be on camera on some of these streams. So this is 125. Scared the fuck out of you. So hopefully you're still here 10 minutes later. Richard is still here. Rave is still here. I don't know about Tom Jensen. Hopefully Marvel fan is still here. Yeah, we did 2 hours of streams. Thank you for being here. And actually, I thank you again for something else. We'll get into that. Richard probably already got a preview. He's offensive coordinator. You're the new, you're a pillar of the channel, obviously, Richard. Pause. And then there's Sentient, who's legitimately a pillar. His last name is the most pause-worthy shit, but we're not going to get into that. Cotton, he lurks. He's allegedly a white supremacist, even though he likes a lot of black channels. I don't know. I don't get it, but he's Cotton. So we keep him around. And then there's Nas, unallegedly a white supremacist, but he's funny, so we keep him around. You four are the four pillars of this channel, and I appreciate you all, and I know y'all can't be in every stream and all that. But it's not just them I appreciate. I appreciate you, who's one of the newer regulars, Cecilia Sinestro, and I thank you for still being here. 2 out of 4 AEW pillars, which is kind of the origin of that concept. AEW. Hell, AEW, as much as I criticize it, Vigilante Williamson is a reference to Kenny Omega. 2 of the 4 pillars have not been champ. Is it just Darby and obviously MJF? Who was the other 2? Was it Jack Perry? Who was the 4th? Who were the 4 pillars? I remember Darby and MJF. Darby kind of got jobbed out, but Tony Khan, I see how he booked. He's sneaky. Jungle Boy, Sammy, wow. I forgot. Sammy Guevara, he ain't a pillar no more. Who would you say replaced Sammy? I don't know if Jungle Boy still is. I would still give the 2. Jungle Boy's kind of, he certainly is one of the most impactful characters to ever be in AEW. There's no doubt about Jungle Boy. Ask CM Punk if Jungle Boy is not one of the most impactful individuals in AEW's history. There's no doubt about that. So he still honestly can still be argued a pillar just from his importance. You can't tell the story of AEW without telling the story of Jungle Boy. There's no way to do it. And Sammy Guevara, wow. What talent that could have been, and maybe still could be, because you know what I'm learning at the age of 38, about to turn 39? It ain't fucking over. It's never fucking over until it's fucking over. And this is what I was thinking about, and I really hope I don't get emotional. I never thought I would do that on stream. You already know. Can I find this shit? I got some real quick for y'all. It's worse than Finn Balor. All things considered, yeah. Maybe Swerve or Hangman. Maybe Swerve, maybe Kenny. But no, because you got to be a little younger to be the pillar. Even though I would say around 30 is pillar still. So Swerve might still be an age. I don't know how old Swerve is. Swerve's been around for a minute, but he still might be 33, 34. I would consider that on the younger side in this modern wrestling era. But let me get this thing ready. And I'm about to cut 2 promos. I'm trying not to get emotional in either. Well, somewhat emotional. This is for everyone in the chat, everyone who watches this channel. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. And if you threw a party, you invited everyone you knew, you would see the biggest gift would be from me, and the card attached would say thank you for being a friend. Ironically, that was the intro to one of my mixtapes with my friends from back in the day. But I have friends now, and it's you guys in the chat. a lot has been made, even on this channel, about the concept of a parasocial relationship. You guys are friends. Thank you all for being friends of this channel and this content. Streams like this remind me why I haven't quit doing this. Because this has been an objectively fun stream, and even other streams that maybe not as fun, you guys show up to, and have some of you have been showing up to this channel for years. And I am legitimately appreciative. That's why I try to get to every comment. There may come a time where I'm not able to do that. Yeah, the purpose of the pillar is being the future of the company, but it also was when it was coined, which is like 3 or 4 years ago. So I would say, yeah, the future of the company, but we're also in the future from that point. So I guess you got to allow it to be a little older, right? Pause, because it's like they coined that pillar term, what, 2022, 21? So now we're 5 years out. If we're 3 to 5 years after that, we are in the future that they were supposed to, be a part of. And like you said, only 2 have been champions. One still has a chance. The other one, unfortunately, Sammy Guevara, as talented as he is, has not panned out. So this current present, I would still consider, I guess, the younger part of the present as part of the main event. I guess John. Looking back, it was actually Jon Moxley, because he's probably the most impactful. If we're talking about the most impactful guys in AEW since they coined that pillar term, Jon Moxley has been one of them. If you look back at AEW's history, who have been the most impactful characters, Moxley and MJF are kind of the 2 guys, I would say. Along with you still got to put Jericho, Kenny Omega, Daniel Bryan, Samoa Joe, there's other individuals. Swerve is in there, Hangman. There's still other people, but I would say them. But Dream Booking of Sammy was Jericho winning the belt for one last time, have Sammy beat him for the belt to retire Jericho. That would be pretty cool if Sammy did it. Do what now? I don't know what I said to trigger that response. But just thank you guys. Thank you for being a friend. And like I said, ironically, I did a mixtape once and used that as an intro. And that brings me to my second promo to cut, the less emotional one. But I'm still somewhat passionate about this. And I realized that when I played this Golden Girls thing, because the Golden Girls was just a TV show in the 90s. How many TV shows y'all think since 2020, and there's been a lot of them, now we would call them streaming shows, you think are as good as the Golden Girls or better? I'm not saying there's none. I'm saying that percentage is low. Richard would say there's none. Richard just straight out says none before you ask. He says no, there's none. And he might be correct. But I would, even if you're generous and you like some of the recent stuff that's come out, and I found this anime or whatever, and it came out this and it was good. Okay. The percentage is closer to 0 than it is 10. Even the most optimistic person about the recent history of media would say so. And to that, we've been talking about history. It may pass years in the future, 100+ years after we're all long and gone, that people look back at what you want to say, the 60s to the 2010s of late 20th century, early 21st century Western pop culture is as impactful artistically as the Renaissance, if not more so. We enjoyed for a good 50+ years, maybe more, but around, I can say 60 to 2010 if we want to just keep it neat. We had such an incredible amount of great pop culture, and we took it for granted. Because the Golden Girls and Elvira, they were just things that existed. But there's nothing been made, at least the past 6, if not 10 years, that's even close to stuff like that. And they were casual parts of the pop culture spectrum that once was. I may have said I was hanging out with Bro Jelani, and the place we're at, fucking Michael Jackson, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. The song and the video is playing. They got a bunch of TV screens. And I'm thinking, fuck, that motherfucker was so charismatic. He's just doing it's just a green screen video. That's something you can do with your phone right now. And god damn it, he's so fucking charismatic. Dancing by himself with a bunch of random backgrounds. That's all the video is. He's got so much fucking charisma. Or like The Rock talk. There's some humans like has so much charisma. He was just one part. And obviously he was a huge part. He's one of the larger parts. Pause. Of the pop culture spectrum of this era that I'm talking about. But Jesus, he has so much charisma. You can't teach that shit. And he's just, again, a piece. We had no fucking clue what we had. We took it for granted. That's on us. We can talk about how bad it's gotten since, but we took for granted what the fuck we had. We had an incredible 50-plus year string where every art form that existed has some of the best part of it. And, you know, obviously I'm not talking about to what's traditionally thought of as art per se, even though I'm sure there was good works that, you know, painting, sculptures and not, but I'm talking about pop culture art, movies, TV shows, books. I'll include comic books, video games, music, you know, whatever. I'm not going to say we'll never get that again. We'll never get that again. We'll have to create a new one if we can. Maybe humanity will. But that we had an incredible run of pop culture and of art of that era, and we took it for granted. As much as we can get mad, and these motherfuckers did fuck it up and ruin it, and I don't know how we're ever going to get back. If we're going to get back, all we got to do is try. All we can do is try. We are going to have to do it, meaning us in the chat, other motherfuckers who are doing this independently. But boy, was that incredible. So, okay, those are my two rants. Hopefully the second half of this stream is less taxing to the system than the first half has been. I don't know what WoW is about. This has been a crazy stream. Let me go back. Oh, can I? You did tell us, what was it? Oh, God. This stream has been this day, because I've worked like 10, I don't know how many hours I worked before this stream. And so I'm pretty mentally maxed out. I do remember you telling me the premise earlier in this stream. I would be lying to you if I could tell you I remember what the premise was, Fizz. And once you say it, I was like, oh, yeah. But stream brain and being mentally taxed and just at my limit. Comparing this to a match, I compare it to Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels' hour-long match, this stream. And as a streamer, I actually also will compare it to the CM Punk versus John Cena Chicago Money in the Bank match. And especially this break, because I remember, and again, I forgot the premise to Frank and Fran. I'm sorry, bro. Comedy manga about a doctor who does gruesome science experiments and has a kid sidekick. I read this and then forgot it. I'm sorry. Comedy manga? I don't like gruesome stuff. I don't like body horror. I mean, I could deal with some of it because Clayface look like body horror, but some of them, when it gets creepy and weird, and that's just not my thing. That's just not my thing. But hey, if you like it, you enjoy. I'm not a gruesome guy. I get queasy, so I can't. I can deal with some weird and freaky stuff, but if it gets too intense, I can't. But I felt like CM Punk, after he won that match, he infamously runs out of the building, blows a kiss at Vince McMahon, runs out of the building. He said he got into a car or a cab, I can't remember which, drove to his apartment that was in Chicago, because that was where the event was, which was like 10 or 15 minutes away from the building. He infamously took a picture of the championship belt that was in the refrigerator because he was so fucking tired and mentally, emotionally taxed from having just won the world championship. He'd been basically working his whole life to win in his hometown, and a great storyline and an incredible 40-minute match. And he just was drinking water because he was so fucking dehydrated, so tired. He didn't realize he put the belt in the fucking refrigerator, and when he did, he took a picture of it, put it on Twitter. I felt like that. I felt so fucking tired, dehydrated, and I know I'm just a fucking guy who's in his spare bedroom, streaming on the internet to 5 to 7 people. But that's what this has felt like, especially all things considered with today. Like, I just felt, holy shit. I just drank a shit ton of water, and I bought some water up from the refrigerator, because it's upstairs, if you need to know. Not to give you a fucking layout of my house. But in order to just keep this stream going, because I'm just feeling good. So hopefully we'll finally play retro games. This has not been that many retro games. But we're going to get back into the PlayStation era games in a second. So thank you for joining. If this feels crazy to you, this feels crazy to me too. Just been one of those days, one of those weird days you get. At one point, Fran harvests organs from soldiers. Issue 2 and 3 of the Raven. I gotta catch up. Want to get wild? The Roman Empire didn't divide along biological ethnic lines. You're either civilized Roman or a barbarian. Now, this I did know. I haven't talked about it because I'll get accused of we was-ism, even though it's not just we was. A lot of people was-ism. And that's, a lot of people in that greater region was-ism. I mean, it wasn't just us. But you want to get why the Roman Empire did not divide along biological ethnic lines. This is honestly kind of also one of my points of saying there is no white and there is no black, is that's not always how things get divided culturally. That's a recent, not just recent, because sometimes it did. I'm not saying it never did or does, but it doesn't have to be. You know what I'm saying? And modern America has forgotten that. And to some extent, the modern world has forgotten that culture and what is considered anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a biological ethnic thing when you talk about a country or a people. You can be the people of Rome or the Roman people and have diversity. Am I including equitable diversity? Oh, DIE. But you can be a biologically diverse people and still be considered the same people. And that's been a common thing. In fact, even some of the ethnicities that we have do have a certain amount of biological diversity. But black and white. And if I say the gray, I'm a fence sitter, I'm this, that, and the third, everything but a child of God. Wolverine Snicket, appreciate you being here. This has been an insane stream. Hopefully you enjoy it. We'll be clipping parts out of it, but we're not done. We just came back from a break. We are about to get into some PlayStation games, and thank you for being here. And yeah, I'll take a recommendation, Richard. I'm not sure on what, but I'll take one. No biological hierarchies. A Roman citizen could be fair-skinned, a Gaul, an Italian, or dark-skinned North African, like Emperor Septimus Servus. See, like I said, a lot of people was-ism. We all was-ism. Fran also turns a woman into a deformed dog woman. As punishment for trying to steal her research. That's pretty intense. That's pretty intense. I cannot tell a lie. Oh, on games? Yeah, I'll take it. What's the recommendation? And then, I mean, shit, honestly, if it's an emulatable, let's say PlayStation or PlayStation 2, because those two emulators I can get going, and even though it took forever, I can get the controller working. I don't know if I can emulate anything. If you guys want to do a recommendation, we're in the modern age. I can make it happen. But for now, because we already got a game loaded, and it's a game I like, we'll just keep it PS1, PS2 era for now. If you got a PS1 or PS2 game that you want me to play, you said RE4. Is that if I can get a PS2? I'll play some of it. I'm not sure if I'll beat it or whatever, but we can play some of it. So, of all the times you guys want to recommend me stuff, and honestly, keep it in mind for I'll say the next few weeks. If there's a PS1 or PS2 game that you want me to play, I will try to play it. I'm not going to guarantee anything. I can't promise perfection. Perfection is the enemy of great, as we will find out artistically, because I have an album that will come out hopefully by next year. That one is I got 2 albums ahead of that, because I have, this is what, for the objective. Well, how do you make music? You always talk about your music. You want it to make money? Yes, I do, because we live in a society. But I have dozens of albums in my head, dozens, and I got to get them made because Hayden Panettiere died, and she's the same age as me, and I don't know how long I got left. I'm hoping 100 years, but I don't know that I do. And so I got to get as many of them made as quickly as possible. Pray people actually listen to it. I don't want to go out like Van Gogh. I want to go out like one of the rich motherfuckers, but not like giving up the butt to be rich. I want to be independent and rich. I don't want to give up the butt. And that's not a pause. I mean, these people really do give up the butt in order to be famous. I'm not doing that. And I hate to do this. I got to take another break. I'll be right back, though. This is going to be a quick break. Okay, sorry about that. All righty. So thank y'all for being here. And if you join late and, you only get the second half, I would recommend, if you have the time, to watch as much of this stream and as many clips come from it as possible. This is the best work I've ever done. I don't know if I'll do better, because you never know what the fuck is going to happen. We didn't know we was at the peak of pop culture history in the middle of the 90s or 80s or 70s. We were just living. But no, like, objectively, things ain't what they used to be. It is, and we should have appreciated, and we did to some extent, but we didn't realize to what extent how great we had it. Culture, pop culture. There's still struggles. I know there's a lot of generational bullshit. People get really bent on that, and there's some reason about it. You said you called it when you sent the voice message. Yeah. So for the stream format, I had just this blast event. I should sell ad breaks. If I could, I would, because that we would have had a decent ad break there. And like I said, PS, you said Resident Evil 4, dope. You had to add that. I don't know what I didn't have to add. And then the controller died again. I who knows what I added. So all right, let's because I forget because there's a delay, and I'm rambling on. Shout out to Led Zeppelin. I don't even know that kind of mind, whatever. I mean, they make good music though. And I told you just do it the same way you told me. I forgot what I didn't have to add. And Richard, you know what? Because okay, shout out to Richard, man. He's a cool dude. I talked to him off strands y'all talk about, and some of the things we talk about end up in one of our content in some way. You know what I mean? So that I don't want to say listen. I still got love for Matt, but and listen, you the Richard. Matt is still the Matt, right? But he's a friend of the channel, right? Friend, and I say a friend. You guys are friends too, you know what I mean? But I talk to him on a decent regular basis. So I apologize if I accidentally say something I shouldn't say. I don't want to do that. Even though you keep telling me I send you gossip and I don't, and that's objectively true. But you know what I mean? I'm not trying to overshare to the streets. You know what I mean? We'll start over. Let me make sure everything on chat. And I don't mean to overshare for myself, man. I just, I consider myself. I wanted to be a musician and a radio host when I was a kid. I'm still going at that fucking dream. Shout out Fireball. I got you know. Shout out Fireball. We'll just say that for now. Still got love for him, no matter what. But let's play Intelligent Qube. I've played this game on stream back in a minute. Oops, I forgot how to play it. Oh shit. Let's start over as I try to remember how to play this game. And we actually get into what this stream is allegedly about. Oh shit, and actually I gotta pause. Legitimately. Turn off this light. I'm trying to cool down. Shit. Okay. Allegedly. So, this is Intelligent Qube. It's a puzzle game. And we're playing it. It's from the PlayStation era. I didn't buy this game back in the day. Some games I remember whether or not I bought. Some games I don't, right? But I remember just renting this game back in the days, in the 90s. Shout out to the video store. Another piece of the 90s cultural pie that we didn't realize was very cool. Oh, which point did I not finish? And you know what? That's gonna happen. Because you hear how scatterbrained I fucking am. A lot of times I don't finish points. So I get to a point, realize something about a point, go on a tangent, and pray to the Most High that I could ever come back to that tangent and make the point make sense. And that's what I've been doing really the whole time on YouTube. And I thank y'all for tolerating the shit. I don't know why that's the way I am. That's just what it is. The one about the chats. Yeah, I know I played this on stream. I just want to play it now because it's chill. Golly, now I forgot the damn point, man. I'm sorry. That's gonna happen too. And right now, I'm at a level of burnout that I've rarely dealt with in my life. So if I forget something I just said, I'm on like, from an exhaustion standpoint, on fumes, but also a weird excitement thing. Very weird place. Football is soon. On the sports channel, we'll be making, I've been saying it for a while, but we will get to, hopefully in this weekend set, because my off days are, as you guys know, because I do more content these times, Monday and Tuesday. Or maybe you don't, but I'm oversharing. But about the chats, I'm sorry if I overshared chat. I remember saying that. And I remember saying that some of the things we talk about end up topics, but I don't remember the other point. And yeah, we'll be, like I said, football. On the sports channel, we will be covering football. Some person said, and I don't remember who, could have even been you, Tom, a while ago when I was talking. I'll talk on this channel as you guys are agent of the future, hopefully global takeover of this channel, or getting kicked out from YouTube, whichever happens. But somebody said, you know what, if you only want to talk about football, maybe just do the channel over, when football happens. Don't, because I mean, even though I do watch baseball, only shit I feel decently comfortable really covering on a regular basis is football. Because, I mean, wrestling too, but if we're talking about watchability, so, like, I like watching baseball. Basketball's unwatchable right now to me. If you're a basketball fan, that's your business. I'm not knocking you, because I'm a fan of things. I'm a fan of the low. I don't like dudes, though. I like women. Screw up in reverse. That can happen. But I can watch football games there's still, even though it's a watered down product from what happened in my youth, it's still just a more watchable product. That in baseball. Baseball, I mean, I've been feeling this since school got traded. And we're at this weird part of the season where a lot of teams now know, okay, we're not going to make it. After that trade deadline, it's kind of a, I'm not going to say it's a low, because for some teams who are still trying to make it, it's excitement, but there are a lot of nothing games. There are a lot of teams, they're out of it. They're not going to be competing, even though they may have been competing a few weeks to months ago, right? And that's, you know, that's kind of it's a weird time in the baseball season. And even it affected me, just the schoolable thing. But football, I'm still going to cover on a sports channel. And we got a lot of football videos to do. Got to do one for each division. Give my thoughts on that. There's been a lot of, and I got to do a lot of research for that, because I haven't been keeping up with it as regular with all the stuff going on. Watched NWA Power recently. We dominated all those bonds. Can't wait to be world champion. One day, man. Oh, I remember a point I said about Sammy Guevara. Never give up, man. I'm 38, about to be 39, and I think I'm about to make my dreams come true. I dreamed as a kid of being a radio host and a musician, because those are the things I loved and love to do. And I haven't given up. I'm still going to try. And so I would say, whatever your dream, and I don't know that I'm going to succeed, I'm going to still fucking try. And I'm glad you guys, and maybe this was the point I missed, but I'm making it in case I didn't say it. I thought I would give up many a time during this stuff, but this stream, and just you guys in general, have made me so glad that I didn't. I'm dead. We're dead. Oh no, ran past it. But thank you for being a friend. Because I'm glad I didn't give up. Not saying it, you know. Oh shit, we're gonna die. If I haven't explained this game, what we're trying to do is get rid of every cube. The black cubes we cannot erase. If we erase them, then a part of the level destroys itself. Every other cube we can erase. The green cubes create kind of cube waves. And then we erase those cubes, and we're trying to erase every cube. It's a puzzle game for the PlayStation 1. And yeah, we have played it before. We might play this often. This is a perfect bread and butter, let's talk and play video games type game. We've talked about that before. Like, oh, man, because you guys sometimes recommend games. And speaking of which, if there's a PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 era game, I will try to get to it, if not in this stream, in future streams. And you do have some movement. This is like I can speed things up artificially. If I hit a button, square, and I just made everything move, because the only cubes we left were black. They fell off. I get perfect. I get a part of the level. If I get rid of the black, part of that goes away. Oops. And now that I did that, guess what? Again. Oh, this is again. Did you hear that? The level is falling apart because I messed up. And so you're trying not to die. And it was a creative puzzle game. Had a cool marketing scheme in the 90s. I rented it and remember it. And like I said, oh man, I remember that game. We're in the retro space, which apparently a lot of people are going really heavy on the retro games. Both old and young people, because of all the craziness. And not just it's not just that Sony is evil and they're getting rid of physical media. It is also, we're not getting a lot of games, new games, especially for consoles. We're getting infinite indie games, and some of which are excellent. I would say, oh shit, I just fucked up because I killed two black paws, because we know there's no black and white, as we have objectively proven. Thank you, Tom Jensen, amongst others, with the educational information you guys have provided. Yeah. we're going to be playing a lot of indie games, and apparently we're not the only ones. And it's because, at least my thoughts, and obviously Sony getting rid of physical media pissed a lot of people off. We're still to blame to some extent. We allowed this to happen. We let it in. Shout out, rest in peace, Bray Wyatt, as I mentioned, speaking of the sports channel, about gambling, and we fucked this up. We keep trying to survive. I used Bray Wyatt, his Fiend character, as an allegory for what we let in to sports by allowing gambling. And that's less we. That's more of the evil motherfuckers that powers that should not be, so to speak. But yeah, man, the fucking oh my goodness, is it one of my the ramen noodles with watermelon juice? What are you talking about? Don't talk about the chicks in the PlayStation parties. Oh shit. Yeah, man, this has been a while. I feel. Oh shit, we're dead. We're dead, guys. We're not gonna make it. If I'm not black and white or yellow, you can be a human being. Be a human being and a real hero. Shout out to Synthwave. Play Pepsi Man and Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2. Also, you know what? Could y'all also put which system y'all wanted? Honestly, we're doing PS1 and PS2. As I can verify, I can get emulators to stream and work. We'll add more systems. So if once I know, I once had, and actually that was the old computer where the 64 emulator works. Because I'm a boomer, I'm not going to get everything to work all the time. But right now, we got something going with PS1 and PS2. So for the next few weeks, amongst other games, we might mix other stuff in. But we're going to be playing a decent amount of PS1 and PS2 games. I thought it was PS2, but I'm stream-brained. And actually, I'm going to add it to a list. You just made the list, Tom Jensen. Speaking of wrestling references. Because we are going to try to do a better job, since we do want to grow this platform and on our own terms, independently. Not, I'm an independent, technically I'm an independent musician. That's not a, who signed himself. That's not, that's the thing. But also an independent YouTuber. Now, obviously, you're still dealing with fucking Alphabet / Google. But I'm not going to say I'm doing none of the typical YouTuber things. But I'm going to put more effort into making something good than making something that is formatted to be neat and nice for the YouTube algorithm. Now, that is not to say I won't clip things to try to get more people and more viewers on this product. So this product, art, whatever you want to call it, we'll just say product for now. This is art, man. But yeah, we're going to try to get more people in to watch this and enjoy these streams because it's fun and you guys are fun and the chat is half, if not more than the damn stream. I mean, you are everything. And this is getting kind of good. But we were straight, and it is not, that's your business if you are, and whatnot. What the hell is going on? Why is this text? Because I'm on another page trying to notate this. And actually I need to create a new file. So, because this shouldn't be in the window clip. This should be in its own file for game recommendations. And then I should have that up in case I can do it tonight. Pause. If I can't get to it tonight, I'll try to get to it another night. And you guys are going to fade too, right? Because you're going to get tired. Like, okay, I'm tired. I'm leaving. Who knows? I could stream to the morning. We've done those. I remember, speaking of Matt, he's done those. This could be one of those streams. Or, hour and a half later, I say, okay, we're done. So we don't know what's going to happen. We're just living life, doing the best we can, making our way downtown, walking fast. We'll see what happens. We're hoping for the fucking best. I get, in another wrestling reference. This might be my Austin 316 moment. This stream where I'm like, oh, this is what a vigilante wears. All the years. That's another thing. All the time it's taken us 6 years. It have not been for naught at all, man. There's been a lot of fucking stream development. The talent development. I'm not saying I'm the most talented. I don't think I'm talented. I don't know what this is. But I'm doing something. There's something going on, right? And it took 6 years to figure this shit out. So, and I am kind of vamping for myself as I boomer my way through Google Docs on the other screen. So we'll get, why is the stream doing it? What is he talking about? For some reason, this is fucking I copy and pasted y'all comments so I can keep up recommendations, have a list of recommendations so we can do what we can. You know what I mean? I'm not going to just do nothing to make the stream better. But I cannot, for some reason, one of the messages is copy and paste white. There's the text color. I have boomered through. I have Pepsi Man, which is a PS1 game, DBZ, BTZ, DBZ, BT2, Budokai Tensha? I forgot that. 2. Shout out to Dodgelani. Dodgelani was worried about me. Is he okay? Where are you at? Zeus? He might be downstairs. Sometimes he's downstairs. But man, he was worried about me today. Cause man, today was one like the term that I would use, I don't want to use on stream. Cause it's just, and listen, like I said, I'm a free speech guy. A lot of things I'll say on stream, but it's not the type of thing, honestly, I feel like you should talk about if you're having one of these. And if it indeed is. It's one of the things that's between you and I believe in the Most High, whatever you believe. You have, because I guess the term I would use is a spiritual experience. And then having this stream. And I know how it led up to here. Now that I'm here, I can look back and say all these things over the past few weeks to months to maybe even years, even close to 6 years, have led to this moment of me now Vigilante Williamson as a concept makes perfect fucking sense. And I've been fumble fucking through the past 6 years. And now I finally fucking understand what the fuck this Vigilante Williamson thing is supposed to be. It finally hit me. And every moment up to this, I needed in order to do this. Now, I don't know if I'm going to blow up. I don't know. But I have now, and I will continue to sharpen my sword, but it's like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. This is how I'm supposed to be doing it. And it is all coming together for some reason today. This is like I said, the Austin 316 moment. If 2 years from now, there are 200 plus people in the chat, it goes back to today. This is the moment. And we're almost, speaking of synchronicity, shout out to Pi Day. It's 3 hours and 14 minutes into the stream. We're literally almost 316. And honestly, the real relevant thing is not Austin 316. It's the scripture was mocking John 316. For God so much loved the world, he gave his only begotten son. And I may have misquoted, even though we know that's been translated many a time. That's his own can of worms. Biblical translations. This is not concordance, so we're not going to get into that, but this is just one of those days. Just one of those days. So, sounds like a Mr. A promo. I can't do the Elvira game. That's too much. We'll play a little more Intelligent Qube. Hold on, let me get the other chat up there. Living at God damn it. What song is this? I got Stream Brain. I bet you I know this song, but I'm too tired to try to sing it. Living at the midnight. I don't know what I've been told, but let's get back to playing this before we all get old. All right. Play a little bit more, talk a little bit more. And if I miss the point because I open up a bunch of tangents, and I can tell, I Brogilante, if you're somehow lurking, I'm not trying to overshare our experiences either. But I think, I want to be a broadcaster. Broadcasters will tell you about their day. I hung out with Brogilante, as I mentioned. And so many different things happen and shout out to Brogilani. I love him to pieces. It gained a lot of confidence in general and for this. In a lot of ways. In more ways, I got time for the stream. You know, we got to cover a bunch of stuff. And, you know, I'm also doing the talking and playing the game thing. Oh, shit. As I've done for whatever. Oh, shit. Judas Priest living after midnight. Fuck. I'm sorry. And what the fuck is wrong with my... Oh, I'm using it. Okay, hold on. Pause. I don't got the comments up. Well, I don't know how to... I probably know how that song goes if I was hearing it, but offhand I can't do it. All right, got your comments up. Let's get back to this. I'm not gonna see that song. That's too crazy. Sometimes I fuck up controls. Because it's a different button to use the green one and the blue one. And sometimes I accidentally use. And then another thing, you can't set multiple little mines or whatever these are, except for the blue and green being separate things. But like I have those green mines, but I can't set up multiple blue ones. So that's the rules of the game, as best as I can explain them. But one of the things Brogilani gave me confidence in this, because we talked a little bit, we talked about a bunch of stuff, but you talked about my stream, and you said, man, you sound so natural. And as someone who knows me, I was not a social person. I never thought I could, as much as I always wanted to do radio, and as you can even still see, I'm not the most elegant of talkers, but I just fumble my way through it, and some of my points seem to be decent or entertaining as I die. I didn't die. I need to not say that. You gotta watch what you say. As I lose this video game that I'm playing. Shit. Man, and that's nothing. I'm trying to be really conscious of word choice. And I'm gonna fuck that up, obviously, but I'm gonna be Kryptonian? Okay, why the fuck not? I mean, it's your choice. Shit, apparently Japanese think black people are Viltrumites, allegedly. The internet says that. I don't know if that's true. I don't live in Japan. The internet just says that. The internet says a lot of shit. You believe this shit? You've been on the internet. You believe everything you hear? Or you believe some of what you hear, but everything? Come on, man. None of us do. That's what makes everything so fucking crazy. Now we got AI and shit. Come on, who knows? But I've seen that shit. Because maybe you guys have or have not. I don't know what your algo is doing. Control your algo if you can. You can't always. It's gonna give you some bullshit. Different platforms have different algos. Algorithm quality is gonna be a huge factor in future social media. Going forward in the future, and your ability to keep a quality algorithm is going to be a huge factor in social media going forward. And some of this is on the platforms themselves, and some of this is on us as individual users, and we got to take our own responsibility for our own algorithms. And I'm seeing that not everybody does, for whatever's worth. And I don't always do. It's not always easy. I'm not trying to knock people, but there are definitely consequences for it. So even though I'm not a fan of Invincible, I'm aware of the lore. Viltrumites are the Kryptonians of Invincible, essentially. That fucking extra rip-off show that the guy who ripped everything off of DC and Marvel talked about how DC ain't shit, but he made his whole fucking TV show about a what-if Superman, but wants to say Superman ain't shit. Fuck you, Robert Kirkman. And I know a lot of people like his work. I'm not the biggest fan. Walking Dead was one of the biggest shows in recent history. I get that, and a lot of people like Invincible. Some of it is okay, but it's just not my cup of tea. But for you, who's fucking on Instagram begging for money through ads, or has been scammed and has a scam person who's begging for money through ads on fucking Instagram, who based his whole fucking universe, based his whole fucking universe on a what if Superman. The idea that you have the right to criticize, and listen, recent DC has sucked, but he was criticizing the historical lore of DC. And listen, if he likes Marvel more, fine. But you cannot criticize DC and say the base lore of DC is trash simply because, for really any reason, because if not for that base lore, you would be a fucking nobody. No one would know who the fuck you were. Well, I can't say that. You would have The Walking Dead. But fucking Invincible wouldn't exist. I can't say that. You still have to fucking Walking Dead. But even that, shit. In that case, Evil Dead and Night of the Living Dead and all the other influences. And listen, I'm an artist. I got fucking influences. I love Prince. I love Radiohead. I love Kanye, even though, he's a complicated guy. We all can be. But, not encouraging anything he said or discouraging. I mean, I'm just saying words because I like his music. He made Graduation and all that. And there's much others, but I would say those are my three true North-ish artists. Though, obviously, Rock Marciano's influence, Hall & Oates' influence. There's a lot of influence. They'll do a lot of things. But I'm not saying you can never be critical at all. I'll never be critical of these individuals because I'm influenced. I'm not going to criticize the shit I ripped off, though. I'm not going to say, the Lindrum sucks. Prince is an idiot. Like, what the fuck? You're going to make beats to try to sound like Prince and then say Prince sucks? Are you fucking serious? And yeah, Walking Dead ain't original. It's just Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, I'm trying to mention a couple I couldn't think of. I didn't watch The Walking Dead, so I don't know exactly who they ripped off. But, I'm sure it was, there was a bunch of zombie lore beforehand. He just did his own thing. And listen, you got influences, and sometimes you wear them a little thick, pause. But you can still create good art. I don't know if he did, because I don't really like his shit. But he's been moderately successful. But just the audacity, it's like, who the fuck are you? You're just, I think, good for you that you've been successful. And I'm not saying everything DC's perfect, they're above reproach, or that you can't criticize. But you can't say Superman is stupid. I can't remember his exact, I know exact word. You can't, he was basically shitting on the Justice League as a concept. You can't shit on the Justice League as a concept and then rip them off. I mean, you can, but I'm going to talk shit about you because you did that. You can do whatever the fuck you want, man. It's a free fucking country, right? Like, I can't tell you what the fuck to do. But I can talk shit. And I am talking shit. That's what I just did. Fuck you. What the fuck, you asshole? You know what I mean? And if I clip this shit out, I'm gonna try to find the clip of what he fucking said. And if one of you guys can find it, that would be great. But I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just talking shit and streaming. And fuck, by the time you find it, I might be talking about a whole different subject. As I try to be better at this fucking game. Who the fuck is Robert Kirkmans? He's a writer who writes comics. He created Invincible and he created Walking Dead. And he was talking shit on a podcast, and hence the rant we just heard. Oh shit. Well, Evil Superman kills all the J knockoff leads. Yeah, he does. He does at the start of Invincible. He does. And spoilers for Invincible. But I mean, if you have fucking, listen, you got YouTube Reels, you know the fucking Invincible lore, and that's how I know it. I haven't watched the show, but I've seen enough clips of that lore through doom scrolling that I know enough about the lore. Fizz, you're correct. Robert Kirkman is indeed a hack, and I just can't believe the audacity of being. Again, like I said, I'm a Prince fan. I have even in music that has been released to Spotify, and I may have music videos. Yeah, it literally happens the end of episode 1. Yeah, that's the end of episode 1. I have seen some episodes. I saw the Adam Eve special, and I saw I think the first episode, and I've seen a lot of clips. Did I see the second episode? I didn't get far into Invincible. It wasn't for me. And even of the clips, it's not for me. And I know enough. I know way more information than I in the same way I know who Sabrina Carpenter is without having searched her up ever in my life. And I know that she made like 5 albums before Espresso came out. And I actually kind of got inspired. Like, damn, she been grinding on these streets. And hey, sometimes it takes a grind to get to know what you're doing and figure things out. That's okay if you're blessed enough to get the time to do it. And that's another, we've been trying to be positive. In the same way I know who the fuck she is, I know who Stella Lefty is. And I didn't search these. Well, I actually kind of searched. I searched top 40 and found her. But that's neither, or him. I don't know. That's another can of worms. We got plenty. We'll pass cans of worms. Some we open, some we won't. But let me try to get this to a tangent. I know way more about Invincible than I want to. I did not mean to know. I know not just about the lore of the fucking TV show, but what is in the comics. None of it's that good. None of it's that good. It's just kind of like, as Fizz said, it's hacky. And just the idea that you would say, hey, I'm going to rip something off and then talk shit about it. It's like the fucking audacity.
Second stage.
The fucking audacity. Actually, the Adam Eve episode was actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie. But the rest of what I saw, I can take or leave. I'm not saying there's nothing at all redeemable or anything, but I'm saying I would consider what I've seen overrated, and even that animation is not. And I'm not an animation mark like some people might be. I can't, there's certain things I have affinity for to some extent. I like the concept of animation, but I'm not an expert on what is good and bad. But I can tell when it's like objectively bad, right? Like we know what the like old style like Hanna-Barbera kind of cheap low budget animation look like, and while that does have its own charm and it looks pretty good, kind of, there is a certain kind of, I don't know if cheap, it is cheap because that was part of the point of it. But this reminds me of the modern version of that with less charming content. And there's some, especially the first season is probably the best animated of it. They spend more on celebrity voices than the animation. And the script and plot is still the shitty script and plot from the comics with some minor changes that still end up pretty shitty, to be honest, from what I can see. But, his Superman, I guess, is better than the real Superman. So, whatever. He's a fucking loser. Yes, everything's unlikable about that fucking universe. He's not that good, man. Where's he get the balls to talk trash about Super? He trashed the whole Justice League and DC as a whole. And again, you can say, hey, DC, they if you would have said, man, DC in the 70s, 80s, and 90s was so great, and now it's just not. And though he would still deserve some criticism for what I said, that would be one thing, right? That would be one kettle of fish. But to just trash the Justice League, I think if I can remember what he actually said, so let me be fair to Flair, was, and I'm paraphrasing what I remember. Obviously, I'm burnt out. I'm forgetting things on the stream. I could have an issue. You look it up. Maybe I'm overreacting to the guy. Even though, I'm not overreacting to what the quality of Invincible is. I don't like it. It's just not for me. I can see why some people like it, but it's being severely overrated. In any event, what I believe and remember his quote to be approximately is something along the lines that, and this used to be a trope that people would say, but that DC was too old hat and Marvel was more hip and more, I used to say hip, when that was a term, but Marvel is I can't remember the exact wording, but it was something along the lines of something like the Justice League is too archaic or too maybe hokey was what he was trying to say, or maybe what I'm trying to word and remember. I wish I had the exact word choice, but almost like DC is hokey, Marvel. And listen, if he likes Marvel more, that's fine, but he ripped off DC. And he wasn't talking about modern DC, like, oh, this stuff right now sucks. It was like, oh yeah, man, you know, the stuff they were writing just wasn't as contemporary and wasn't just of the times. And he made it seem like the basically the classic era of DC wasn't as good compared to Marvel. Listen, you can like Marvel more, but he just, the way he worded it, and I might stop this stream and find that quote so I can get it right. But again, he based an entire universe that he's still marketing and pushing to this day off of DC. So DC, oh shit, is the reason his content exists. Invariably. He didn't rip off, I mean, he probably did. He ripped off parts of the X-Men. But his Guardians of the Globe is the Justice League. Objectively. So you can't, and okay, he killed them, so maybe that's, oh, I don't really like the Justice League, I'm gonna kill him. But Omni-Man is your a Superman allegory, right? Your version of Superman. So you base things on this universe that you seem to hate. And it wasn't in a, oh shit. Yeah, good luck trying to tell the difference between heroes and villains. Okay, quick pause and water break. We'll finish this level. Next time we die, we'll switch games. I'll try to get to one of your games, you guys' games. And oh, feel free if you're still here to recommend games. And I'll say that in all these streams. I'll try to at least get to a one. Again, PS1 and PS2 will expand as we go. And Fizz right now is cooking. He's cooking Invincible on facts. Let me see something. Oops. I'm gonna make parodies of Bendis and his mistake with Spider-Man, but I'm gonna villainize him, not copy him. Exactly. Oh wait, okay. I'm just trying to make. Yeah, okay. When I show comments, it does show an overlay. I just wanted to make sure. But yeah, what the fuck? Yeah, the name is generic. Invincible. Yeah, the villains and heroes are basically all fucking the same. And granted, yeah, X-Men does that. But yeah. The elephant's Rhino from Spider-Man. The one guy just straight up a Vulture. You know, Red Rush is the Flash. You know, he died. Robot is a combination of what's the motherfucker from Doom Patrol and Red Tornado? Really more of the motherfucker from Doom Patrol that I can't think of. But it's like, what the fuck? Another character. Yeah, basically, they're just straight up Electro. And so, he does rip off Marvel, too. I mean, so his favorite Marvel. He rips them off, too. But, like, this you can't make something this obviously original and criticize the source material. Hell, as much as Tarantino can be annoying as fuck, even though, you know, he says the N-word. I mean, okay, listen, I can't control white people in the N-word. I'm just say it, man. I can't control what the fuck you guys do. I don't live around everyone. I mean, there's white people around here, but it's most of Mexican. There's some blacks, most people in this neighborhood. It's a lot of people. If you're gonna say it, what the fuck? I mean, you guys are already saying it. You guys say it more than what the fuck. I can't do that. That's a whole can of worms. But I'm talking about Tarantino. He says it a lot, and we are going to switch games. Let me see. We'll try Pepsi Man, and give me a little bit because we are in the internet age, and we will load up the legally acquired, allegedly, copy of Pepsi Man in due time. In due time. That's a Goody Mob song. But like, as much as Tarantino could be annoying, he gaslit me a little bit on King of New York. Though I still like the movie. That is a good movie, but it's not as good as New Jack City, and he's fucking crazy for thinking that. He has a foot fetish. He's one of Weinstein's biggest friends. Even though Weinstein, as much as a creep was, he did kind of contribute to the greatness of that 90s culture that I mentioned amongst the greatest of culture. He was a piece of shit, but man, he let a lot of cool shit go, not just from Tarantino, but other people. So I mean, it is what it is. But Tarantino could annoy the fuck out of me at times. Even though he's right about Paul Dano. The N-word stuff is a bit much, though. I do like Django. But you look at like his own lines from motherfucking Pulp Fiction. Like, why do you need to say this? What is wrong with you? I think I know what's wrong with him. I think his mom fucked a black dude when he was young, and then he hung out around black people, and he probably has some issues because of that. And I'm just being honest. Why am I mentioning Tarantino when you're talking about Robert Kirkman? Well, some of you might have put two and two together. Tarantino's very referential. I'm a person who samples. So as much as I sample a lot of my music. So what's the line between ripping something off or not? Hey, I sample a lot of music. Tarantino himself rips off and pays homage to a lot of other movies. I could never imagine, as much as this motherfucker talks shit and all these things, him to talk shit about the movies he pays homage to. In the same way, I don't plan on talking shit about the artists that I sample. And shout out to Tracklit for allowing me to clear those samples and legally have ownership of my music, which was a huge, you talk about the age of now, things of now being things. I mean, this is a huge thing that platform exists, and it is part of why my music over the next at least couple years is going to be pretty banging, even though there's going to be some non-sampled music as well. But I just couldn't imagine criticizing. For one of my songs, I sampled the great Bobby Caldwell. I think rest in peace and long. I hope he's still here, but he might be gone. Of What You Won't Do for Love, Fame. It's part of my intro to Potency, and I couldn't imagine saying, "Yeah, Bobby Caldwell ain't shit." The fuck you? So you're gonna use his shit and then say he ain't shit? Fuck you. Fuck you, Robert Kirkman. Are you fucking kidding me? And while we're switching games, let me see if I can find a clip. You don't have the right to talk shit about DC because DC fed your fucking family, you piece of shit. Or Marvel, for that matter, as Fizz. You don't have the right to talk shit about these fucking companies. You don't fucking have the right. You don't have the fucking right. No, I'm not, okay. And I say that, listen, if he dealt with those companies and he had bad experiences, I know they're evil, but we're talking about he's critical of the art lore, the art/lore that he ripped off. the things that he stole. And maybe this is the clip. I'm about to play a clip. I don't know if it's the clip that has set off this rant. We will probably play Pepsi Man and then Dragon Ball Z and then see where we are. Let's see.
I will go all the way back to the inception of DC. I think that DC was born in the 30s and Marvel was born in the 60s. DC was born at a time when, what's the 30s? Is that horse and buggies? I'm educated. Right, but anyway, a long time ago. Yeah. So if you look at I know, I'm kidding. But if you look at DC as a whole, it's magic rings, invisible jets, lassos that make you tell the truth. It's it's antiquated, ridiculous garbage. And the Marvel stuff is of the radiation 60s, like counterculture. Like there's still like things about Marvel that are relevant today, and the DC stuff is less and less relevant as time goes on. And so you have to, in a sense, fundamentally alter what DC is built upon to make DC appeal to a modern audience, and therefore I think anyone that is doing a DC movie has an uphill battle ahead of them that is a little bit more than what you have when you just, like, you can take the Hulk and make the Hulk cool very easily, but some DC characters, am I going to get attacked for this? Are there a lot of DC fans out there that are going to come at me with the pitchforks? I don't care.
He doesn't care, guys.
I was just about to
The Flash sucks.
The movie?
The character?
The character. You run fast. You run fast. Whatever. What? I'm kidding.
You know, it's funny that you say that
I don't know what's going on.
I stand on every fucking word that I just said. He called DC antiquated garbage and used it to make his whole fucking universe. You cannot make this shit up. You cannot make this shit up. And you said comments. There aren't any. Not in this clip. I don't know if this is the official clip, but I came across this clip. That's what caused the rant. And like I said, I didn't have the exact wording. After hearing him, unless that's not Robert Kirkman, because I don't know what the fucker looks like. I'm assuming this to be Robert Kirkman. This one guy has an Invincible shirt. This other guy has an Invincible hat. I've seen ads for presumably his company. Could be a scammer. I know you see this line, meta ads lie, but it presumably his company asking for investment. He based an entire lore set and cartoon, comic, and all this associated media off of DC, but it's antiquated garbage. And he said the Flash sucks. You run fast. He can like Marvel more than DC. That's not my issue. You like what you like. He can think that it's easier to make a Marvel movie than DC. I mean, you've gotten better, even though there's some good DC movies. I would say it's fair for live action. We've gotten better Marvel movies on average than DC movies. That's fair. These are fair points. That's not my issue. I don't think he can't say anything at all about DC, but you can't call it garbage, because then what the fuck is your shit? I mean, you can say, hey, I think I make garbage. If he says, you know what, I think Invincible sucks and it's a stupid piece of shit, but I just did the best I can. That's this dumb piece of shit, and I can't believe this stupid piece of shit got successful. Now, if he said that on top of that, I would shut the fuck up. I said, okay. He just, that's just how that's his personality. He thinks it's garbage. He knows his shit is garbage, but he knows. So he recognizes that, and he just like, this is just what I think. I think my shit's garbage. I just do the best I can. But listen, some artists, I know I'm very critical. Even I know this shit is the shit I'm about to put out next couple. I got 3-4 albums that's gonna come out. It's gonna be cold as fuck. I know this shit gonna be cold. But there's other times where I'm like, oh man, this shit sucks. There's even songs that I put out of the 2 projects I constantly promote. Potency on Spotify now. Look up VigilanteWilliamson Potency, or I think my United Masters. Hopefully I put the link in the description. I sometimes forget. Cause I reuse it. Sometimes it's not in there because the stream I reuse, I didn't put it in, but some streams didn't. That's neither here nor there. United Masters, Vigilante Williamson, and you can see Potency and borrowing nostalgia that doesn't exist. I do think at least one of those songs that I released sucks. Objectively. It's okay to make some art and think that it sucks. And that art can still be successful. So if that's how he feels about his own art, Invincible, I'll take back everything I said. Outside of that being the case, or that not being Robert Kirkman and somebody else who's impersonating him, for him to say, let me get the quote one more time, Big Rob.
Yeah.
Sure, like there's still like things about Marvel that are relevant today. Marvel's, it's antiquated, ridiculous garbage. And
for you to base your whole comic and concept of Invincible on antiquated, ridiculous garbage and believe your material to be superior when it is absolute derivative of said garbage, though you also are a derivative of Marvel as well, as we mentioned. You're a derivative of both. And I'm not even shitting on you for being derivative. That's fine. I'm shitting on you for being derivative and then shitting on the source based on his creativity. Hell, even if you, let's say you know, he's a comic book writer, say he worked, I don't know his history like that. He could have worked with DC. DC could have been shitty. He could have worked with Marvel, be shitty. You could say, hey, yeah, this exec sucks, or these people suck, or they don't know what they're doing. That's fine. But he said the Flash sucks. He said the whole thing of DC as a concept is antiquated, ridiculous garbage, and he used it as the basis of his fucking comic. If you can explain how that makes sense, if you can make that make sense, I would appreciate it. If I clip this out and this is a comment, and you can comment and make this make sense, because we're going to have probably weeks of videos out of this stream, please make that make sense. Godly. And he never, Fizz hit us with some game. He hit us with some hot pack. Pause. I probably shouldn't say hot pack. I'm thinking of like a Tupac lyric. He had never worked before with DC before he made Invincible. Golly. Richard, as a future genius comic book writer, can you believe this shit? Can you believe this shit? I can't believe that, man. I just really can't believe that. I the nerve of some people. Fuck. Robot Man is the Doom Patrol guy. Thank you, Fizz. Speaking of bots, only bots like this shit. Mega Man X Regenesis is a free non-fair use project. Oh, the Mega Man X series. Ooh. Let's we'll give it a try. That won't be this stream more than likely, but I'll put it on. It just made the list. And yeah, you know, this is the type of game we can recommend. And I know you want more complex games. This might also be the lure going forward. We just keep it simple and keep it retro. I'm not trying to steal your thunder, Retro Richard, because you do a lot of retro games. I've been doing retro games, you know, for a minute. Hell, shit. What is retro? Because Arkham, a lot of the Arkham series could be considered retro. It's over 10 years old. It's over 10. You know, that's a good question. What is retro, guys? What do y'all think? Obviously, there's no set thing. But what do you consider retro? And I don't know if I found my copy of Pepsi Man, I should say. Which I may have to vamp and do that. Streaming game Rex. Okay. Whew. And again, we're cutting promos. 2014 back. Listen, I'm not saying we do not want any human beings to be attacked in any way, shape, form, or fashion from this content or any content I make. I don't want anyone to be attacked or harmed in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So I'm saying that objectively because I don't. But boy, is that guy an idiot. I'll say that. Oh boy, is that guy an idiot. And because people may put two and two together, I'm going to try not to put that comment on the screen. But, holy smokes. And you know what? This is also why I make content. If human beings this stupid, now he might have eyes wide shut his way too. Probably did. He probably did. But if a human being this idiotic can be successful and be lauded, I gotta at least try and see what the fuck I can do. I have to. And I would implore all of you. I know Tom is writing the book. I know Fizz is doing his thing with animation. And I know you guys might have struggles. I would say don't give up. Because fucking Robert Kirkman made it. And you just see how fucking stupid he is. Oh, yeah. Damien Darkblood is Hellboy. Yeah, I remember him. Yeah, he's just Hellboy, but he's a detective. He's just Hellboy. like, what the fuck? You're not creative, man. And you, again, I make content that is inspired, and often I make a lot of nostalgia-based content myself. You can argue a lot of what I do is based on nostalgia. I realize a lot of my artistic endeavors, including this, which I would include this, the whole VigilanteWilliamson character, nostalgia is a huge piece of it. And references and inspiration are huge pieces of it. And we are critical of some of those things at times. It's not that you cannot be critical of things that, or have critiques. And honestly, he can still be an idiot, of things that you are inspired by, or notice flaws or notice things. Maybe you could be overthinking that, but it can happen. That's not, it's the idea that he thinks it's garbage. But it's so derivative of the concept that he thinks is garbage. He's so derivative. It's like, what? Yeah, you're right. He is already an investigator. If to play Angel's advocate in reference to a legitimate demon that he wrote, I would say, and I'm not a master of Hellboy, but I did see the first movie. I would say if there's a difference between Damien Darkblood, who I think also has a little bit of Etrigan in him too, not just Hellboy, but and a little bit that's neither, right? He leans a little bit more into the investigative element of his character, where Hellboy was a little bit more action oriented. If there is a difference, and listen, I am splitting hairs for the purposes of discussion. I think he's a derivative hack, right? I think he's a derivative hack. I think all these characters are basically straight up the character they rip off. And listen, I loop shit too, but fuck it, I'm not gonna talk shit about the shit I loop. I'm not gonna say, oh, Bobby Caldwell ain't shit, even though he's a fucking genius. I mean, Bobby Caldwell's cold in the motherfucker. He was cold motherfucker. Cold. And the song he made helped me make a song of my own. Shout out to Tracklive for allowing me to clear it. And it's a great song, and I think I made something pretty important for myself, at least, and hopefully you guys hear it, listen to it, enjoy it. I know I keep promoting it. Check out the album again if you haven't. I know I promote it. I want people to hear it. I really want as many people to hear it. If money can come from it, cool. And, hey, we need it because of this economy and the world we live in. But, shit, if people just hear this shit, I just want people to hear it. I want people to hear my fucking music. I want people to see this shit. And thank y'all for joining me. We're not done. I'm just thanking y'all. Because, you know, I got love for y'all. And Robert Kirkman triggered me, as the kids would say. Triggered. Okay, let me load up Pepsi Man. And I'm only doing that because I'm already on the PS1 emulator. We're going to try to get some other stuff going. As long as we stream, I don't know how long this is going to go. We already gone pretty long. Pause. And I know you guys are going to fall off as we go, but we gonna we're just gonna do what we can while I got the energy, and then I know I'm gonna crash out. And I don't know that I'll stream shit. I could crash out for 2 days, who knows. We'll see what happens. But thank you, and is it just Fizz and Richard? Let me see what this YouTube says. Oh, there's 4 people, so there's a couple people lurking. Is it only a Japanese room? Oh, shit, I shouldn't have said that word. Is it only Japanese? Yes. Damn, I had 2 bottles of water. One I just evaporated. Oh, it's yes. Okay. Okay. Well, let's get it on. Cecilia Sinestro still here. Fizz is still here. Richard's still here. Maybe Tom? Question. That's my guess. Could be Rave. Could be anyone. Could be Brodelani. Could be that 4th man. Who's the 4th man? Even though it's the 3rd man. Shout out to Bash in the Beach. Bash in the Beach 96. 30 years since the NWO, New World Order, became a pop culture relevant thing through WCW. That was the first time I heard the New World Order was the Bash at the Beach promo that led to the group of the same name. So yeah, that was what the 30th anniversary was it? June? I don't remember when Bash at the Beach was. I know it was early in the summer, late in the spring type vibe, type shit. But I can't remember the exact date. But I know it was 96. I do remember that. I just don't remember the date. I know it had to be May or June because it was close to, it could have been July, I guess, but I'm pretty sure it was May or June because it was close to King of the Ring 96 when the aforementioned Austin 316 promo was infamously cut that led to the beginning of Stone Cold's great push. And yeah, there's a lot of wrestling references. Still a fan. Not on the low, on the high, pause, as we load up everything off stream. Hope you guys, I don't know how the new format of this show is going to land and how it's going to change, but thank you for joining and thank you for sticking with me. And we'll do what we do. And you guys are as part of this as anything else. Okay, we got it. Okay, I don't know if it translates things, so we're going to see how good or bad this is going to work. All right, DS4 is working. I was so bored during the Mars episode of Invincible because he was just rehashing Martian Manhunter. Another thing that he'll do, he'll rip off the character twice because he has like a couple different versions of Martian Manhunter. Right? He had one that was in the Guardians. You could argue the one character Seth Rogen plays is kind of Martian Manhunter-y, but he's his own version. Probably that one character is probably the most original character, the Alan the Alien. And I mean, he's very derivative too, don't get me wrong. And it's that's a valid question. Why do y'all waste your time watching? You know why? Because we get bored and we end up wasting our time doing other things. And sometimes I can't optimize every second of my life. I wish I was good enough to do that. Some people are. Some people can do it better than others. So when you need to waste time, we literally waste our time watching bullshit. Or, you know what I mean? What it is with me, I just doom scroll and you see things. Now, you're probably, hey, you can still skip things. There's some of the shit I skip. But even from just doom scroll and then, you ever doom scroll, but you're kind of doing something and you just kind of just listen to the thing anyway? And that kind of happens. And then you end up doing that enough times that then the algo thinks they want to keep showing you Invincible stuff. And then all of a sudden you end up fucking knowing way too much about this bullshit ass lore. The same reason we know about Sabrina Carpenter. That's why. And I say her because she's of this modern pop era. She's probably one of the most tolerable. I don't dislike Sabrina Carpenter. Well, I mean, the Anne Hathaway shit, the weird demonic shit I don't like. But I'm just talking about musically, and just character wise, I mean, I'm a fan on the low. I like dude, right? I would say on the low, but she's whatever. I'm not about to go to a concert. I would take her over Taylor Swift, and I know Taylor has even though apparently Sabrina has a catalog. I haven't listened to it, and I'm not going to. But I would take Espresso over anything Taylor Swift did. I would take. Oh shit! Were you here when we found it? She's got connections to Epstein, and rumors about liking him young. And rumors about some. I could maybe find the reel if you weren't here. I found the reel on Instagram. Let me see if I can find it before we get back to Pepsi Man. It's only a few of you guys here, so I'll, at one point I had some struggle getting to all the comments. But since there's only a few of you here, I'll try to better. That's now running. The concept of rape is obviously not funny. And I'm not saying she wouldn't if these are rumors, but Hollywood does have a rep. But let me see if I can find this. And hopefully I'm looking at this preview just to make sure I'm not accidentally showing you information I wouldn't want to see. Hayden Pantanet, hold on, let me see this real quick.
The age of 36, no.
Hold on, real quick, guys. I don't think it's nothing up here.
Further details were given by her family. Breaking news! Actress Hayden Panettiere has died at the age of 36. No further details were given by her family. Breaking.
Very sad. Shout out to Talking Fish, one of my favorite news sources. All right, let me go through my saved reels. I'll try to find a reel that talks about some of the weird allegations. Hollywood.
I have a white boyfriend who loves you.
No Umar joke. No, shout out to Umar. We're gonna leave him alone, and it's not on the screen. Cool. And shit, now I got to boomer my way through.
Breaking news.
Okay, we heard this, man. I'm no disrespect. And like I said, it fucking hurts because I really loved Heroes, and it's scary because she's younger than me. Oh, that's scary. You gotta value the time. Yeah, there we go. Saved. I'll just go to all posts. And let me see if I can find the Anne Hathaway reel that alleges some creepy shit about her. And there we go. And then I will put it on screen. That's what she said because she does OnlyFans. This is the stuff about Anne Hathaway, who's one of the biggest actresses right now between The Odyssey and that Devil Wears Prada. 20 years or however long it's been for the sequel, and that fucking sequel made a ton of money. But this is Anne Hathaway. Richards has his, who knows? I don't know what happened to Richard. I mean, I wasn't there. She's gonna have. Oops, I didn't mean to mute myself that quick, but she's gonna have to see about it in the court of law because I'm being neutral, I'm being objective, but Richard, you'll have your day in court. All right, here's Anne Hathaway and her bullshit.
Hathaway is currently the highest grossing actress of 2026. Right, yeah. I wonder why. From Jeffrey Epstein. Can you bring Anne Hathaway to have a coffee with Bill Gates and me? Somebody throwing a party for Love and Other Drugs. Jake Gyllenhaal, Anne Hathaway movie, right? Anne Hathaway and Jake Gyllenhaal in it and here. Valentino hosting. Guys, what the fuck? Anne Hathaway is currently the highest grossing actress of 2026.
Look one more time, just in case you missed part of it.
Right, yeah. I wonder why. From Jeffrey Epstein. Can you bring Anne Hathaway to have a coffee with Bill Gates and me? Somebody throwing a party for Love and Other Drugs. Jake Gyllenhaal, Anne Hathaway movie, right? Anne Hathaway and Jake Gyllenhaal in it and here. Valentino hosting. Guys, what the fuck? Anne Hathaway.
Okay, so that's the Anne Hathaway thing. So, she is a woman who dated a scammer once, and she may have been invited to coffee with two wealthy individuals like Bill Gates and Jeffrey Epstein. You consider what may or may not have occurred if such a meeting happened, and apparently there was a party for one of her movies, and all young girls, which could mean anything. But this stuff was in the files. And listen, I've talked about how everything in the files may not all have legitimacy to it. And there may be some stuff in there, some hot sauce added to some of the stuff there. As we finally get Pepsi Man going. Where the hell is the game? Sorry, just fumbling through OBS. Is it gonna show up? There we go. And let me turn this down because I'm sure that was super loud, and apologize for that because I realized the audio. Whatever. There's one man producing it. One man producing, not writing, and just off the top doing the stream by himself. And this is, well, actually, this is kind of the origin of the joke, which I don't know if it's a joke, about Retro Richard and Anne Hathaway's alleged situation. Well, everything is alleged. They had a phone number in the thing. Don't call that number, please. Don't. I said don't. I didn't say do. No. Maybe it's not. Maybe it ain't. Just watching the opening cinematic. Pepsi Man. Few women. Yo, some women. There's some women that will. All jokes aside, there are women who are way too aggressive at times, and that are disrespectfully aggressive, and I would even say criminally aggressive. In the same way there can be men, there can be women the same way. So we'll see what you set me up for, Pepsi Man. And then we have woke. Oh man, that sucks. I had I'm just finally getting started. Okay, everything's in English. I don't know what I'm expecting. The older woman used to flirt with me when I was a minor. More when you were a minor than now as an adult. Wowzers. There's some predator bitches out there, man. I'm not trying to cape for male predators. They're pieces of shit. I'll say they deserve the Mr. A treatment. I don't think that's... Okay, is X going to work? Oh, you know what? I might have a... Let me go back to the... Let's... I forgot you gotta watch what you say on YouTube regarding playing retro games, and even though I want to be more cavalier and be more, oh yeah, you do. Did you show me the neighbor? I think you did. Don't re-show me. I don't want to see this bitch. Shit. But yeah, let me get this controller right. I gotta watch what I say. I know, and I can foresee. Because so many people are going into retro, I would say now's the time to do it if you're going to do it as far as retro gaming. And I know we can pause, but I can't. I'm exhausted. But, man, they're going to crack down on it. Mainly because people are going to are so people love it so much. Why isn't the game starting? Okay. She wasn't ugly, but dude, did you know there's a guy on Twitter who makes stop versions of soda brands? I did not.
Hey, let's start the game.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm almost sitting in the car for people play basketball. I know you're packing. There's some predator bitches out there.
Oh, Pepsi Man, you got here just at the perfect time. I got a call that a vending machine ahead ran out of Pepsi. And I was just on my way there when I got a flat tire. There are a bunch of people gathered in front of the...
Bro, the intro to Pepsi Man is better than anything PS5 has released this year. Fuck them.
Just about to riot. I plan to head over there as soon as I can fix this flat. But it looks like it's gonna take some time. Can't you do something?
I'm sitting here. I'm enthralled in the story of Pepsi Man. We are not being sponsored by Pepsi, and I have yet to play the game, and we might have glitched out. Oh, it's like oh man, this is like when you look back, obviously these type of games in a kind of different view got really popular at the advent of smartphone gaming, but it's an endless runner. Oh shit. Oh, that's cool. This is cool. And sorry, I may miss some comments as I learn and fumble through this. It's like an endless. It's an endless runner. I never played this. That was a Japanese only PS1 game for Pepsi. Okay. Oh, I got it. Must have to have a crouch. But check. I don't know how to play. I'm learning on the fly. So, oh, it's like a slide. Okay, it never came out in America. Okay, so I see something about following Gmail. If there's a breakout. Oh, jeez, I can't. Why can't I move over? Okay, actually, I'm gonna just pause to see what you said. Vid, people forgive Sony for a game. I sent you the file on Gmail. I see. Oh, did you send me the file? Oh, I was already figuring it out, so I don't know if that's it. Your mom had this when she was a kid. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, it was your mom from Japan. So it's you're borrowing nostalgia that did exist, but we didn't know that existed. That was a Japanese, and this is pretty fun. I'm trying to learn it. Oh, Black Ops. I don't know how to control this when he gets the. Okay, let's make end quick. I don't know how to control him when that trash can gets on it. So we ain't gonna keep redoing this. Okay, he's not. He's just. I have no control. Your mom loves Pepsi. I have no control. I hate to break it to you, unless you have an answer on how to get through this right now. This won't be that long of a stream, or not. This stream's already too long. But this game, we're not gonna stay on that long. Cause I don't know how to fucking get past this. Funnily enough, your mom loves Pepsi. Maybe they did a better. I mean, Pepsi's still a popular brand. Maybe they did a better job marketing. Nothing works over there than here. And, you know, that could be an input issue. Pause. Okay, we're going to skip this cinematic. But once you get the trash can, I can't control him. I can't move him left to right. No input button works. He doesn't jump. He doesn't slide. He doesn't do anything. Japan has like 100 different flavors of Pepsi. But they got a bunch of different flavors of everything. I remember, my brother has been to Japan. He came back with a bunch of cool stuff. I mean, he had all these different flavors, Kit Kats and all sorts of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of American-based brands that do better stuff for other countries. I remember when speaking of, I can't remember Target. In my youth, I was blessed enough to go to Australia, and they're like Kmart. Was it a Kmart or Target? It was one of them, and it was like the fanciest store I ever been in. And there's no tipping culture. Oh shit! There is a slide button. I fucked that up. I gave a guy like a $1 tip, and he was happy as a clam to get a fucking tip. Cause I'm just so used to tipping. The stereotypes aside, black people don't tip. And apparently there's something to that. Sister was she's a nurse now. She's vigilante. But she said it black people, so that made me upset. So since then, I'm like, I try to tip. And pause for the word tip. But we do have this. I mean, goodness gracious, man, that's the thing. And that's also a pause word. Obviously, there's been hundreds of pauses. Strawberry Lays. These licensed games weren't that good to begin with. This is the end of this game because I can't move. I'm gonna give it one more try. I love the Pepsi, man. That slide. Do I gotta jump over? No, I can't. I swear it's not working. Nothing is working. Yeah, 7-Eleven has the best XM. So, a Japanese company owns 7-Eleven. At one point, they licensed 7-Elevens to a company in Japan. That company did their own thing to some extent with 7-Eleven in Japan. And they got so much more successful over there. They actually got more successful than the 7-Eleven here, and ended up buying it out. And will you be accepted? They got a rep, man. We talk about racism. I mean, they got a rep for even with other Asian groups. Wasn't there a wrestler that was like part Japanese and Korean that killed herself in the past like 10 years? And apparently she had other issues, but I believe one of the issues that because she was part Korean, she got so much hate from the Japanese audience that it was a contributing factor. Please correct me if I'm misremembering or incorrect about that, because I don't want to just say stuff like that and I'm wrong. But, I got a bunch of thoughts in my head. Some of them I can remember, some of them right, some of them wrong. So I believe, and I may have details wrong. Please correct me if that did happen. And We've been talking all day about how these concepts are not racist and that the concept of race is fundamentally flawed, Fizz. And yes, there's a lot of but white and black and Asian, then that's it, or Mexican or Hispanic or there's a lot more to a people than a phenotype. But you're correct, Fizz. It wasn't it the chick that they was it? Who's the world famous CB? Oh boy, I don't know who the world famous. I don't know if I know who the world famous CB, unless that's a code word for a particular person that my string brain can't comprehend. It says better to be a foreigner than a mixed one. Cheeseburger. She dated Cheeseburger? I didn't know that. I don't know who Cheeseburger dates. I don't know. You might be correct. I didn't know if she did or didn't because I didn't know. But I just knew that I'm vaguely remembering the story because I wasn't that familiar with it. I'm gonna give this Pepsi Man one more try. Just because I like the Pepsi Man, it's got me. You talking about Cheeseburger, that skinny guy who used to be in ROH? That's who we're talking about, right? If I'm remembering the right person and the right details on the person who unfortunately took their own life, I remember her being pretty, I'll say photogenic. So I think she might be, listen, man, while I am willing to date a woman of a decent amount of use from me, I can't go like early 20s. And I almost remember, maybe, different people have different age looks. And people can be fucking 40 and look 20 or 20 and look 40, right? But I think I remember being a little young. And I just got to think, I may have a daughter one day. If the girl's 19, I'm not looking at her like that. 29? She's grown ass. But I need a grown, okay, it looks like I'm going, oh, I figured it out. You go the opposite direction. So you go one way, it goes opposite. That's why I was having so issue. It's such an issue. Okay, so we're gonna keep playing this then. Okay. Whew. You know what? A lot of people talk shit, and to some extent rightfully so, about the hand holding in modern gaming. But then sometimes you remember it didn't start from nowhere. Because a lot of times without it, man, there were dozens of games that back in the day where there was no insta internet, and yes, the internet existed, but it was much more of a chore to use and maybe wasn't as widely available. You know what I mean? Yeah, in 1997, there were millions of people who had the internet, but there was also millions of people who didn't. And even if you did, it wasn't common it may not be common to stop everything and play a video. I mean, you could have, but it wasn't as common as it is now. Easy, I could stop a stream and look up a fact. It wasn't quite that common, right? So as a result, even if we are talking about a year in which there was some version of the internet around, you might come across a game that you rent, play it once, get to some part that you cannot figure the fuck out, and the game does not communicate to you what the fuck you're gonna do and how to do it, and you just get stuck on the first level or second level, whatever level that is. There might have been somebody who didn't realize, well, I'm not sure, obviously Pepsi Man didn't come out in the United States, and I couldn't speak to the Japanese culture at the time. I lived in America. But there could have presumably been someone who played this game, rented this game, got to that part, never got past it, and that's just what what happened with them, and that's it. Try beating Elvira. Yeah, somebody tried to beat the Elvira game with no internet. I don't know how it got done. World famous CB is his heel persona. See, I knew who Cheeseburger was because I was a fan of ROH, early to mid 2010s. And he was around then, and he would be in New Japan sometimes in the opening Royal Rumble, Battle Royal type shit. But I don't remember the world famous CB You know, even though I'm a fan on the high, I like wrestling. I don't remember everything. I'm a human being. I miss things. You know, I do the best I can. Yeah, I didn't know that, and I didn't know that he had a connection to the young lady. And again, I do have the details correct. I'm gonna maybe check in between games just to make sure, and because I don't want to misspeak. But even if that, that did not happen in that situation, where I don't have her nationality correct and her nationality wasn't a contributing factor, there absolutely have been individuals who are part Korean, specifically, you can even say Chinese, Korean or Chinese, no particular though. I know there's also issues with other Southeast Asian cultures in Japan, but there have been people who maybe mixed nationality between Japanese and Korean, Japanese and Chinese, Japanese and whatever. And if you didn't know, you couldn't tell that they weren't all Japanese. Maybe people in Japan can. I don't live in Japan. I'm not trying to speak to that. My point is there's a lot of these people who have killed themselves. And obviously Japan has an infamous suicide. Yes, I just said the word. I didn't say unalive. I didn't say, it's just, we're adults on Earth. I'm not going to let this algorithm, it doesn't even like me, dictate speech, because there's important things that need to be expressed when they need to be expressed. And that's unfortunate. I mean, obviously, like I said, there's a high rate of suicide, across the world at this point. But certainly in Asia, certainly Japan and Korea have that already kind of a part of the culture. Hell, speaking of YouTube and algorithm, despite the algorithm being so stringent to me, infamously, former, IC champ? Logan Paul? Or U.S. champ, he's former U.S. champion and wrestler and boxer and everything, or Logan Paul, or was it Logan or Jake Paul that went to the forest in Japan? And became internationally known and a brand off of that back in the day on YouTube. And I can't say the word suicide because the algorithm doesn't like it, so I got to use kid language. So, whew.
Hey, let's start the game.
So you post all the time if it's the same girl. The Hidden Death Forest. Yeah, that's the forest the guy went to. Can't tell the difference
Pepsi Man, you got here just at the
between Japanese
person.
Japanese have slanted eyes. I kind of can, honestly, between the three. And even between, I kind of can. I'm not perfect at it. And I'm not trying to be, I'm definitely not trying to be of any type of, racist or anything. People say all black people look alike, and I don't believe it, but I'm black, so maybe, I think it's always weird when, because of, like a lot of nationalities, as we've discussed, there's complexional differences. And in the same way that a fairer skin, somebody who's pale like Paige, even amongst white people, I'm not going to get confused with somebody who's as pale as Paige or Sheamus with somebody as tanned as prime Hulk Hogan. I would not say these people look alike. But somebody who there are people who would say somebody like Will Smith and Wesley Snipes look alike. And I'm like, well, listen, there's such a grand difference in their complexion. How could you possibly say that? Again, I just chose two Caucasians. And there's, again, such a vast difference in their complexion. I would never get them mixed up. I would never, if there was a man that looked like Sheamus, let's say when I go back to the gym with my wrist heels, and I need to go back to the gym to get cardio in. And there's a guy, and he's jacked, but he looks like Sheamus, or actual Sheamus, because it's Houston, who knows who fucking live here. He goes to the gym, and rest in peace with all the complicated shit we're talking about Hulk Hogan. And there's another motherfucker who looks like Hulk Hogan. Even though they're both white, I can fucking tell them apart. Because even if I couldn't tell their faces apart, there's a fucking huge difference in their complexion. So how there are some Caucasians that cannot see that difference at times? You know, shout out to the mother on, speaking of Will Smith, the new mom on Fresh Prince is a great example of this happening. I don't know how. I don't know how that could happen. But I kind of can't tell the difference between Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. To some extent, I'm not perfect again. And, you know, every human is beautiful. God loves you all. So I'm not trying to, you know, I'm not an ethnoist. And as we, amongst many things I've learned and you guys have learned on this stream, we are more educational, objectively, than a crying, lying teacher. Shout out to the not say HPD. What's it? HISD? Fuck it. I am getting whipped. Not all pale. And again, not all pale people look like. You can tell. And listen, not like fucking Io Sky doesn't look like Oscar to me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? There's a huge difference between the two, right? So I can tell. You know what I'm saying? The difference between, you know, people. So, and I get that there's a stronger phenotype that of some nationalities than others. You know, the Kyrie saying don't look like them, who don't look like whatever. You know what I mean? They all look different. So I don't, you know. And neither one of them look like, you know, a Chinese person or a Korean person. I can kind of tell. But going back to the whole thing, what we were talking about was you know, people who are mixed race in that region of the world, and they get so ostracized from it, and they're mixed amongst those races, those three and other Asian, Southeast Asian races, and there's so much controversy of that mixing that these people kill themselves, and it's fucking unfortunate. Super shit. But we're probably gonna play DBZ. I haven't played DBZ in so long, the PS2 version. And honestly, I don't remember the last time I played a DBZ fighting game. It's been a minute. Probably like 2014, 2015. Even though I did kind of like them. You know what I mean? And listen, shit, we've talked a lot about race. I'm not going to get into genetics. I mean, the genetics can do a lot of things. Hell, speaking of internet assholes, look at the Tates. A black father, a white mother, they look Caucasian. But there are other people who have a black father and a white mother, and they have a different. I mean, there's a lot of ethnoversity between that mixed race. Sometimes termed mulatto, sometimes termed whatever you want to call it. A lot of different complexion and differences between that. Pairing, genetic mixing. Lord knows there's also been a lot of controversy talking about mixed race. And mixed race, we're the human race, right? We're not even saying that on some peaceful shit anymore. We're saying that because there's objective fact to it. And the phenotype worship probably should stop. The phenotype worship that was triggered by the synthesis. I don't know how you pronounce the word for multiple censuses. I'll go censuses of the 1800s in the United States of America, the Corporation of the United States of America. Those fucking censuses have caused a lot of controversy. And listen, I'm not saying they're the first thing to use phenotype. But that is not the only way cultures and peoples have been delineated. But it is unfortunately, now I got a skateboard. It's unfortunate that it's gotten so crazy. Use future Gohan trust? Yeah, because I'm done. Only thing you have of your mom is your hair and one eyeball. Pause. Not on some pause on some creepy shit. Because it's like, what the fuck? One eyeball. Like, you got one eye is one way, one eye is other. That's some Two-Face type shit. Not saying, I don't know if that's how you look. Because I mean, you send pictures yourself. Pause. But I'm not, I'm not examining these things. And I don't know if I think you might have sent a few face pics. Pause again, right? Because it's like, you know what I mean? You're the homie, right? But you know what I mean? Hey, guys. Hey, Scrambles. Boy, have you missed the stream, but we're still going. We got a lot to, We're going to go probably at least another hour. We're about to play Dragon Ball from PS2. We were just playing Pepsi, man. We've been playing retro games. We've been talking about a bunch of crazy topics. We've been saying pause a lot. It's been a crazy stream. We've been talking about spiritual experience. This has been a crazy stream, and for me, a crazy day. But I'm having a lot of fun, and I'm having fun with you guys. So appreciate you showing up. Like I said, we'll probably go at least another hour. Let me start fumbling through OBS amongst other things to get that going. Pepsi, man. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna make sure nothing's on screen. That shouldn't be. So we can do everything that we need to do. And since you've shown up, if there's a PS2 or PS1 era game that you would like me to play, I will at least attempt it. Maybe not tonight, but over the course of the next few weeks and months, I will try to get to as many of the requests for PS1, PS2, and we'll expand as I can as far as retro games as I can. So as many of the games as I can that you guys recommend, I'm going to try to play at least for a part. And this format of the stream of being like a just retro game stream, and I'm just going to play a bunch of games. And the thumbnail may not match the games I play, but we're going to do a lot of these, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff because, I've been, this is a living stream, and I've talked about how, oh man, sometimes I don't know what to say. And I'm like, hey, let's go back to the gaming thing, gaming and talking, where the conversation still is the primary thing, but the games are a part of it too. And retro gaming, I'm finding is a lot easier to do both. I'm trying to optimize my life in every way that I can. Work smarter, not harder. I'm not succeeding all the time, but I'm doing the best I can, and I'm trying to do that with this. So be patient as I figure things out. And I am starting to, I've been faded the whole time. But starting to fade a little. But like I said, I feel like we got at least, I'll say at least an hour, maybe 45 minutes, maybe only that much. I don't know how much of Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi. I always fucked up that Budokai. Wait, which one was it that you guys want to be play? Tom, are you still here? And if Tom, you're not here, we could try to get another day. Metal Arms. Yeah, we were playing Pepsi, man. I could do one more run if you want to see it. It's an endless runner. I'm not good at it, but I could do one more run if you want to see it. Scrambles. Metal Arms. What? Hell. Goodness, I wish I could form. I'm so used to copy and pasting at work where you can have a little bit more control over the format. This is just copy and paste at anything. What the hell? But what fucking system is Metal Arms for? Because I'm not familiar with it as a game. So yeah, and that's nothing. If you can say if it's PS1 or PS2, I'd appreciate that as well. Okay. Just type the word. Fuck it. And I'm trying to log these things as I go. So, hope you like the stream. We're kind of reformatting things. You will start seeing more of me in person. Maybe we don't do an in-person stream for every stream. Maybe we just make that the thing for the Vigilante Wednesday show once I can redo that show. And then we, come up with 2 or 3 topics, cover those topics, and do that format again. So I got Metal Arms. I'm going to go back to the chat. No, not Deus Ex Spirit of Nas. Nitrous Oxide for the PS1. Okay. My question for this Fizz, how you can find out the sus? What's sus stuff? Did you know that this year anime came out called Goku Daichi about women who want to whoa. Whoo! See, this is if you wonder, Fizz, again, why I know there's good anime out there. I used to like some of it as a kid. If you're wondering why I'm still hesitant to watch stuff like that, ugh. Oh my God. We're not trying to just slander, okay, Tenchikai 3. 3 was the one. And what you call, are you here? There's a PS2 game called Baroque, okay. Tom Jensen, I appreciate if you're here. I'll try to play this again if Tom shows up. You know, 'cause especially a game like this, you can just get rounds in. And I'm going to get whooped on, guys. I could lap to try to get better. I don't know. I can't remember how much I liked this game. I remember liking it. I remember getting whooped on. We're about to raw dog this. Pause. But you know, future, I could always replay one of these games too. So I think Tom is gone for the night. Have a good night, man. I'm trying to scroll. I don't know if you answered me. Scrambles, if you want to see Pepsi Man 1 run, let me know. And Fit, you know, you stumble on things just like you stumbled upon Neffy. And now it's funny. All jokes aside, I know we joke about the goth shit, but I never was it Neffy, whichever one that Drake set the internet on fire because he likes or whatever, or he's dating. You were sending these weird goth bitches, and I'm like, who are these hoes? And now one of them is the biggest thing on the internet because of Drake, and I don't remember which one. Is it Neffy or Pinky True? Which one is, or is it a different goth bitch? I don't know these hoes. I remember those two because you sent them a lot, and I'm not trying to joke, but you're the one joking saying I'm sending goth. This is the actual reality. I just don't remember which. It's Pinky. Okay. Because now the whole internet, and they showed her old pictures before she did the goth thing. I mean, she looked about, whatever. Do another run of Pepsi Man. All right, let's do one. Do one more for the road. I love that Pepsi Man. I do like some of the visuals of Pepsi Man. It's a fun. That's fun. I'm a fan on the mid for Pepsi Man. I mean, I don't know if I can keep playing it. I'm about to play it again for Scrambles. There's only a few of you guys. I can better do requests. Pause. So let's get Pepsi Man loaded. Then we'll get we can kill two birds with one stone. We can we get this run of Pepsi Man loaded. We'll get Budokai Tenkai. What'd you say, Budokai or BT? Budokai 3. And I'll go ahead with the Budokai 3. Without you, I wouldn't discover it. What did I do for Elvira? I don't know what this involved me. But hey, I'm glad to help. So let's get Pepsi Man going. Budokai 3 is a whole nother game. Sengas. Oh, I didn't Sengas. Let's go. All right, let's play one more run of Pepsi Man. Okay, is it gonna show up? And I don't know how loud it is for you. Pause. I'm waiting for this. Is this game gonna show up? Oh, there we go. Always gonna have some technical issues. Shit, okay, if you ever want to get really high and watch something trippy, Notches outside. Well, I live in Texas. I'm not sure if I should get high. I'm not sure you heard about some of the recent laws out here. This is pretty fun. Shout out to that 2000s era Pepsi.
Hey, let's start the game.
So I'll rewatch this. Like I said,
Pepsi Man!
Pepsi Man, you got here just at the perfect time. I got a call that a vending machine ahead ran out of Pepsi, and I was just on my way there when I got a flat tire. There are a bunch of people gathered in front of the vending machine.
I'm just kind of letting this play out.
And the word is that they're just about to riot. I plan to head over there as soon as I can fix this flat.
Honestly, I can't let you.
But it looks like it's going to take
This
some
era
time.
Pepsi gave us CM Punk. Yeah, it did. And yeah, let me make sure I put it. Yeah, I got Nitrous outside for PS1. Let me pause so I didn't put PS2 overall. And we'll try to get these games. Obviously, it is starting to get late for the night. So I probably won't get those games in tonight. I'm probably gonna do this, Budokai, or Dragon Ball, and then whatever. Like, there's a little bit of burnout starting to creep in, but we are going. I want to do a longer stream tonight. I'm very appreciative of all you guys who do the stream. Shout out to K2J, the stream. I got a lot of music that I'm going to work on. A lot of music wanting to come out. That's the stone thing. I got to start putting so many topics to talk about the music channel. I got to start doing that content. I got a lot of content, backlog of things to do. It'll never end. And it keeps coming. I'm wearing shit. Rapping, indie bands, R&B. I love it. I just start singing. It may suck, but I was doing karaoke. Yeah, this is Pepsi Man, the endless runner from 95 or 96, whatever the fuck This is fun. It's definitely entertaining. Back to the talk about your Elvira. Not taking the show so seriously. This game there's no seriousness in this game, and it makes it an entertaining presentation, even if it's mechanically and even for the era graphically a bit limited. It's pretty fun, and it's nostalgic for this era. Content, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, the damn 2000s on back. I mean, I'll include the 10s for, even though the 10s was a lot more hit and miss, especially as it went along. But man, from that on back to if you want to say the 60s, you probably include some of the 50s, even in the 40s and 30s, right? There's great movies from that era. Great content, great music, and great art from that era, obviously. I mean, shit, you want to say the whole of the 1900s into the 2010s? I feel like we experienced a renaissance level of artistic quality, maybe beyond the renaissance, maybe better. And we took it for granted to some extent. As much as we talk about how shit sucks now, and it does, though there's still good stuff that exists, and I'm trying to make it myself, and we'll see how that goes. And again, check out my Spotify. Even though, again, a can of worms about Spotify, I could talk about AI and them using our data and stealing our songs, and lawsuits. There's a lot going on. But the art, the movies, the video games, TV shows, the music, the art, anything you can think of the 20th century into the earlier 21st. It was so incredible. All things considered, it's why there's so much. It is the only reason, but was, oh man, my generation was better. The 80s were better. Oh, no, the 90s were better. You know, Gen X versus millennials versus boomers. The whole thing was great. And we can only hope to pick up the pieces from the trash we have the past 10. And I gave the 10s a little love, but I mean, we could really, if we want to be, though, in the 2000s there was some struggle. The 2000s was starting to fall off. Even in the late 90s it started to fall off. But I mean, there's still great stuff in the 2000s. There's still great stuff now, right? But just so much less percentage-wise. In the same way that the batting averages in baseball have gone down. Guys are hitting like 250, and they used to hit 300. The average of quality, the average quality material has gone down. Because even things that were objectively bad in the past had more entertainment value, more artistic quality than what we're getting now. Now, we've talked about corporate. I don't believe the reason is because people are worse, though there is some of that. The reason is the corporatocracy of this era, which is one of the most evil. Listen, corporations and corporatism has existed for a while, right? Say the 1800s, 1700s. I mean, there's companies older than that. This game is. I'm going a little further than this one. Shit. I'm fucking up, man. I'm fucking up on top of that. We're not gonna make it. No. Pretty fun. It's an endless runner, though. Okay, let's see if we can keep going. After this death, we'll play Dragon Ball. We'll talk a little more shit. Then we'll get out of here. 4+ hour stream. Maybe we'll get to 5. I don't know where we're at quite. It's been a pretty momentous stream. Shifting a clearer focus on how these streams should go. Though part of that focus is how unfocused it is. Just from a topic standpoint, you guys input. We learned more. I'm not sure if you saw the viral video that we've been critical of the past few streams. Oh my gosh. I'm this close to making it. That's good. He said. There's a viral video of this. Damn it. This teacher crying because his students can't read. I do not believe that. I don't believe, unless these are developmentally disabled and or dyslexic children, that you can, in this age, in 2026, have 30 kids. I can believe you have a bunch of kids failing English. Yeah. Failing math and failing kids and being... I can believe a bunch of kids who are actually failing these classes are getting passed on when they shouldn't have, and getting passed to grades they shouldn't. I can believe that, of course. And that the education quality is diminishing as a result. Yeah. I buy that. No. But I don't buy they can't read. And the exact quote, or an approximate quote, because, you know, my memory is fallible. Something along the lines of, they were meant to read 2 paragraphs, write a single sentence about said paragraph, and the man said they couldn't put 4 words together. I don't believe there's any rule. This is crazy. You might die. I don't think you can get a group of non-developmentally disabled, non-dyslexic, non-learning disability kids who have been on, and they were seniors, high school seniors. These were not elementary level kids that may be understandable, right? Or, well, elementary level. I would say at the middle school level, you should absolutely, even at the late elementary level, you should be able to do that. I did a high school seniors could not do that. In 2026, in the age of smartphone, is beyond the pale and so as a result, I've been joking I was initially joking to say that this stream itself has better value than the educational system. And ironically enough, this individual stream does. The facts that have came from the chat between Tom, Listless when she was here, and obviously Fizz, Chozo, have been incredible. I've learned things. I have literally learned things. So this has been a hell of a stream. I'm going to encourage as many people as I can to rewatch this stream and watch as much of it. Because I don't know that I'll ever have a stream this good. And maybe it sucks. Maybe like, I just watched an hour of this shit. I hate it. That may be the case. But to me, this shit has been incredible. All right, we ran into the Pepsi Man run. It does look fun. Hey, this is a retro game world. Pretty much everybody should have some form of access to a game like this. PS2, I'm not sure if everybody's phone can run. I don't know if my phone can. And those games, maybe PS2 could be a little bit beyond some people's pale. Pause. I don't know if that's pause already. Oh, yeah, we've said pause literally 1,000 times. Literally. It is weird that you're smarter than most. And I wouldn't say that's it. You're a very intelligent dude. Now, listen, I haven't really researched this thing. And do you have a? I mean, I'm asking personal stuff. Feel free not to answer, Fizz. I don't. It's your business. You want to talk. I'm oversharing. I'm all sorts of shit. So you don't got to overshare. But if you have a driver's license, which I don't know if you do or not, and I haven't researched this. It's just something I got in my back pocket in case things get really hairy. Because finding a job is very difficult. There's the gig economy. There's things like Thumbtack. There's things like, obviously, DoorDash and ride sharing and food delivery. And even for people without cars, I believe there was I don't know if it still exists or what it takes or if it's worth it. And you would have to do your own research to answer those questions. But I believe there was a service, and this is for anyone, not just Fizz, because this is a struggle. This is an ungodly economy, man. This is horrible. It's demonic economy. But there was a service that would let you rent cars for the purposes of doing one of the rideshare style things. Did I get this? Oh, shit. We spent all that time doing Pepsi Man, and we didn't get it. We didn't do something that we were supposed to. But we'll do it now as I vamp and talk about what I just talked about. I was going to take a couple minutes, too. Shit, I should have did that. Okay. It's a little... But we'll get Dragon Ball going in a second. And I'm about to get to the comments to see if there's an answer to the stuff I said. You don't? Oh, man. Well, if that's not... And I know even with Thumbtack, if you don't have a driver's license, getting around is his own can of worms. But I'm just trying to figure something out. And I'm trying to also keep, I don't know what the future holds. If I had to do some of these things, these are things I would pursue. Seeing if there's any local gig economy things that you can do. I would do research into that. Because as much as these jobs are evil and demonic and all that, it's so hard to get income. We unfortunately, in the world we're living in, we're in a capitalist society. Well, we're in a corporatist society. That's the most accurate term. We're in a corporatist society, and we need money to try to maintain. So if there's any way, because I don't give up. To quote Jim Valvano, these are one of the reasons we still follow sports. Or I say we, one of the reasons I still follow sports, I think a lot of us, those inspirational moments. Don't give up, never give up. Don't give up, don't ever give up, I think was the actual quote. Don't ever give up. And I'm rooting for your Fizz. I wish you the best. I hope you can get the job you deserve. And hey, if we blow up, I'll hire you as a channel researcher or something. I would hire a couple, if y'all, if this shit, let's say we blow up, and a few, if I needed, like, hey man, I kind of need a guy to do this or that. And I'm not saying I can hire you for like, living wages and shit, unless we really blow up, motherfucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Unless we really blow up, but I don't know how that's gonna work. With this fucking algo, I want to, but I don't know how it's gonna work. But But you know, if that time ever came and I had the ability to help you guys out and figure something that you guys we can help each other out, I would at least try to. I'm not gonna promise anything, 'cause I don't fucking know shit. I'm just saying things. But I wish you the best in the meantime, if such a time ever exists. And I hope you can get something going, man. Because you're a smart dude. And I know it's a tough, you know, only the toughest economy I've ever seen in my 40 years of life. And let's try to get this going before we get out of here. This will be the last game we play for the day. Because I am starting to fade. Ooh, not add search directory. What the hell? Where are these games? Show and explore. There we go. And I shouldn't be talking out loud, but it is a habit. Extract. I'll extract there. We'll see how smart this is. Hopefully this works. If I have an issue with it, I might. If I have a technical issue with Dragon Ball Z, we might end the stream here. And then try to, because we are 5 hours in. Sent me another issue. That's dope. That's dope. You've been writing while this stream goes. So 6 people are watching, despite this being 5 hours in, middle of the night. I'll take it. Thank you all. We're getting ready to play a little Dragon Ball Z before we get out of here. This has been a fun stream. I can't promise every stream is going to be 5 hours plus, but this has been a real fun stream. Kind of redoing the format. Said we're going to get through a new season of Vigilante Williamson. We already got some content on the sports channel. We'll get more content on the music channel and even some streams over there. And we'll do some more content on this channel. We got a lot of content to do. I endeavor it to be art, to be snooty, but we'll use the term content. A lot of good stuff. We got good stuff going, and good stuff to be, we'll say. And I avoided a word to avoid a word. So I'm just now vamping to this gets going. Woo. If this gets going. So I'll give it a little bit. Like I said, you know, I'm doing things live. So if we run into a major technical issue, especially 5 hours in this stream, I'm just going to go ahead and wait to play Dragon Ball. And thank you for sending me your work, man. I'm gonna binge it, and as I binge it, I'll let you know what I think. I'm not about to binge it right now. I'm about to play this game, and then I'm about to play this game, talk some more shit. Maybe I'll get some clip content, maybe I won't. And then I'm gonna try to play this game, talk some more shit, and then call it a night. That's what I'm gonna do. What was that noise of death? Okay, I don't know what it was. But I'm about to, let's see. Okay. Gotta hit the, hey, all right, Scrambles, thank you for being here, even for a little while. If you ever get time to rewatch even parts of this stream, I think you would be entertained, because this has been an entertaining stream. Okay, looks like it's working. Because we're switching systems to the PS2. And so let's make sure we can get everything we need ready to stream. Okay, so that OBS issue is handled. And now let's see if the controller input issue is handled with this system. There's controllers. Just trying to make sure things. Is this 2007 for this? Goodness, this is a late PS2 game. Oh yes. Are we working? Uh-oh. No, not technical issues. No. Okay, new game. Okay. Yes, great so far. Okay, I think we're gonna work out. We might get this thing working. Say successful. Okay, let's make sure we are going live. Yes, we are.
Experience some epic battles here.
You can even battle in Dad'll probably be the winner, but I wonder if I can enter. There are many great battles here. I wonder if I can do this.
Oh man.
I'm even cooler than usual. You can pummel it and see work. You
can participate.
What should I do?
In various martial arts.
You can fight various battles here. Go 10. Whoa, tons of battles. You can choose your favorite character and compete. Gohan won't lose.
Practice first.
This is Gohan. You promised you.
We'll do training. Yeah, let's do some training. We might only do training. I am tired as all shit right now. I'm just being honest. Did you say I forgot who did you want me to play? Gokan. Oh man, it's cool to do different areas of each character. Was it Trunks? Oh, Gohan. I can't remember. Adult Trunks, Kid Trunks, Goten. Future Gohan or Roshi? Yeah, Roshi. Master Roshi. Let's do something different. Let's shout out to Master Roshi. I like the max power version. We'll go with the regular one. I haven't played this game in forever, so I don't know what I'm doing. I may, if we play this game more, I may lab it to relearn shit. I don't know if I played this version. I played one or two of them back in the day. I liked them, but I never got super into these Dragon Ball Z fighting games. And
Are you ready?
If you're asking me to remember the inputs from 20 years ago and thinking I'm about to remember and know what the fuck I'm doing, I got some bad news, like fucking Wade Barrett. And we may play this again. I know Tom was the guy who requested it. I think he's asleep. Ty's another cold character. At this point, this is kind of the epilogue of the stream. This is the post game of the stream. This is the post credit scene. I'm not taking this serious. I'm just mashing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I thank you guys for joining. Hopefully, we got more streams like this, shorter version, but. We might just, I hate to do this to you guys. I might just do a little bit of this and talk a little shit. If I can even talk, man. Been a very eventful day, it was a lot of challenges. I mean, shit, the early stream, we couldn't even get anything working. Took an hour to get the stream going. A challenging day at work. And I'm trying to, be, there's a buzzword, be intentional with my word choice, not just on these streams, but in life. I'm trying to be more intentional in the way I talk, in the way I think, in the way I do things. While recognizing, because, I've dealt with perfectionism in a good portion of my life. And that's why I want to name one of the albums. I got two concepts I'm working on. But perfect is the enemy of greatness. Because a lot of times when you want to be perfect, you won't get anything done. And you kind of have to embrace mistakes. And I think that's, even though I just shitted on Robert Kirkman, rightfully so, he's a fucking moron. there's a part of me like, and also I realized how much of a Batman, how important Batman has been a character for me, and one of the reasons I believe in the importance of art, because I reflected on a super challenging period of my life when I was younger, and I don't know what I would have done without Batman the animated series and the Justice League and Superman the animated series. And in particular Batman, everybody knows who knew me and knows me even, knows that is still my favorite character in fiction. I am critical of a lot of the lore and a lot of the content made surrounding that character. I remember was it you that was telling me, and I knew of that weird Amazon Cal art show. I don't know if it's still around. From, was it last year or the year before? Maybe it's still around. It looks weird. It just looks terrible. And they got honestly, I'm kind of intrigued with the Caped Crusader. And I know this is kind of how they got people with Absolute Batman. The art looks objectively pretty interesting. I know a lot of people, speaking of, we've talked about wokeness, and there's some people, if they have a drop, just even one drop of wokeness, they consider it woke. That's a weird way to consider things, but that's how some people like to think. That's a reference to something, if you know. But that's how some people like it. That's how some people think, and that's their business. And hey, sometimes woke shit can bother me. I know there's wokeness to that Caped Crusader shit. I know there's cultural Marxism to it. But the designs, the character designs, and again, I've seen clips of it. Honestly, of the clips I've seen, some of it looks good. Some of it actually does still look trash. But there is an interest to give it a chance, even though DC doesn't deserve it. Now, I guess right now I'm kind of talking to you, Richard. I do not. Bat Fam? Was that what it's called? I'm just spamming. I don't know how to do anything right now. I wish I could give you this feeling. Right now, I'm tired. And listen, you can tell me the inputs. You remember the inputs. I'll try to launch a Kamehameha. But this is not serious. I'm just kind of playing this and ranting and wrapping up the string, really. But yeah, what are the inputs to launch a Kamehameha? I'll try them. But yeah, there was a Bat Fam show. There's a Caped Crusader show. The reason I'm probably gonna end up seeing Sparkly Boy in Batman 2, even though I think he's he's an idiot. I think Matt Reeves is kind of an idiot, and he has some of the Nolan things I like. He's good at cinematography, not as good at music choice, and maybe not. I can't remember who his composer was for that. The Batman. I gotta say that theme is, it's okay. Sometimes, when I first heard it, I'm like, okay, but it's not that great. And I love a simple theme. I'm a big fan of some of the music in the Odyssey, and it wasn't, the most complex stuff. But doom, 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 doom. That's not, not necessarily the greatest. I still like that Nirvana song. I don't know that it, I guess there are scenes he does the Nolan thing too, talking about Matt Reeves. But his writing, as bad as Nolan's writing is, ooh, Matt Reeves. I don't know if he's the writer-director. I can't remember. But the writing in the Batman 2 makes Nolan look like a Ernest Hemingway. Holy shit. Oh, man. And he's not as good as Nolan. And he's not as good at hiding his weaknesses as Nolan. He's weaker at his weaknesses. He's less strong. So, why I could deal with... And I haven't watched a lot of Matt Reeves. I'm really just judging the Batman 2. But, and Nolan's Batman films aren't perfect. But certainly, when we're going back to derivative, there would be no Matt Reeves Batman without Chris Nolan's Batman. There's not a single doubt in anyone's mind, even the fans who do like his version of Batman best, and that's their favorite version of Batman, and I am in disagreement of it, they would know if that the Nolan Batman inspired it. I mean, that's just obvious. That thing. Oh, pause to see the controls. Okay. Well, shit, I mean, a lot of games from this era did. What was it? Skill list. Okay. The original Kamehameha. Ah. The original.
What's the matter with you?
Ah. There we go. There's your Kamehameha. Yeah, you want me to give anything a chance? You gotta do better. No, I'm not saying you should. You don't have to give it a chance. I understand that, and I respect you not giving a chance. I respect your decision. I'm not gonna give every Batman thing a chance. I can't. They're too shit. DC's too shitty. But I'm about to root for the Lions, and they're probably about to, because they already got injured players. They're probably about to make. You know what, man? I ain't perfect, and I'm cool. And certain things I've been a fan of so fucking long. Maybe you will experience this as when you get older, and you're an old fart like I am now. And I'm not old fart. I'm still young. I'm still young and spry, right? Remember, power of life is death in the tongue. Gotta watch what I say. Gotta speak life into things. Power of life is in the tongue. We ain't even gonna mention other things. We trying to live forever. Well, not forever. Well, we trying to live as long as possible. So, hey, your decision is your decision, and I understand it. And on some things, I'm gonna agree with it. And I don't know that I'm gonna check out Cape Crusader. I just know that I am intrigued. And I honestly don't know if I'm gonna check out Sparkly Boy 2. I just know that I don't owe the character shit. The character doesn't owe me shit. But there is an interest. Can he learn? Even in a world where Matt Reeves' mediocre to poor work in the first movie has been mistakenly lauded by a lot of people who related with this Batman, and I realized, hey, I related with the Christian Bale Batman because of the lore and because of my own depression, and it made a huge impact. And I related to the Kevin Conroy Batman, and man, you know, rest in peace. If there's a human being I wish I could have met, him and Bill Russell, I really, oh man, I wish I could have got a conversation in with either of those guys, or either or both of them. But I related to his Batman as well. I related to Adam West's Batman. I love these versions of Batman. I love them. So part of me is like, who the fuck, you know? I'm just an asshole. It may not be for me, but if they fucking love them, then let them love them. You know, I can't. Who the fuck am I to speak on somebody's? Now, I will tell you, I think it's shitty. I'm not, you know, finding that balance. Okay, I still think it was shitty, but if somebody loves it, I gotta respect that that's their love. And then why am I? You know, I talked about why I'm intrigued in Cape Crusader. Why would I be intrigued in this? I'm still a Batman fan. If I'm gonna watch a fucking Lions game for 3 hours, I guess I'll watch a fucking Batman movie for 3 hours. For the same fucking reason. And I have the same amount of, this is gonna be probably a failure in both. And you don't have to. You know, and that's understandable. And I'm not knocking you for that. I'm not gonna, you know, just like I did it for that Bat family. That's why I mentioned it. I'm not about to to watch this shit. You know, sometimes it's too much. And that Bat Fam or whatever the fuck that called, that was too much. That just looks awful. Holy horrendous. Cape Crusader, a lot's been made because of the race swaps and changes to Harley. But just some of the character designs that I have seen from either Doom Scrolls or Still Pics. And it definitely owes its derivative of Batman Animated Series 2, but it's also derivative of the early comics. There are some fucking cool characters designed. Batman's costume looks fucking cool. And that counts for something. Like I said, I have seen some reels of that. That doesn't look like it has A1 writing, but then there's other reels where you're like, doesn't look like it has. It looks like it. You know what it is? I would guess that show's mid. Mid is not god awful terrible. Mid is mid. There is good, there is bad, there is mid. I would guesstimate that show's mid, where it has a series of flaws that really fuck with you and a decent amount of quality episodes that you can really enjoy and deal with. And it's to your level of tolerance how much mid you're going to tolerate. You know, it ain't Golden Girls good. I don't think that's as good. Thank you for being a friend. That's a reference to earlier in the stream after the break. But that's what I would guess. And there's a part of me, I have the Amazon Prime because I it's one of the only streaming service I have, because it's the one that, same reason I talked about buying something for to help my detox stuff, because I might already have delivered, because it's after 4. Yeah, they could have already delivered it. That's how quick Amazon works, because I think it's supposed to deliver between 4 and 8. So I keep Amazon Prime. I'm gonna keep Amazon Prime. Unless they go up in price too much. If they go up to like $50, I'll get rid of it. Fuck it. I would get rid of it and buy a lot less Amazon. They would just lose money. So if they ever did that shit, then they can suck my dick. I mean, don't, because I know Bezos gay ass would, but he's weird. Fuck you. Don't do that. I'm straight. But yeah, Adam West Batman is so silly, but I love it. I love it. Pause. It was so entertaining, and it was a weird. You know why that Adam West Batman was great? Oh, it was a lot of reasons. And I'm about to end this stream. I'm done playing games. I'll save state it. I don't know why. But I'll talk to you guys for a little bit, and we're gonna get out of here. And I'm sorry that when I got a little more energy, we'll be more interesting with the Dragon Ball streams, and hopefully Tom will be able to see them. But why I love the Adam West stream, or Adam West stream, Adam West version of Batman. It was written for families. That's a concept that has been lost, not just the concept of families, but the concept of making content for families. And we got 7 viewers. Sorry you're joining at the telltale end of this stream, which has been one of the best streams I've ever done to me. But thank you for being here. And when you used to make content for families, you were legitimately trying to entertain both the parents and the children. The seamless way in which this show does, in which if you're under the age of 10 or whatever, you'll be watching a different show than your parents. I just think it was fucking brilliant writing. Going back to that 20th century peak of pop culture. It was, as a kid, you're getting a live action Saturday morning cartoon. As an adult, you're getting this parody, almost Naked Gun-esque, funny, entertaining show that, because of that Saturday morning cartoon nature, still has stakes and still feels real, though it's an absurd, doesn't take itself seriously. It's just like, wow. Woof, that's some, we just talked about quality writing. Y'all writing to be able to do that. That's not easy. Now that we're 60 plus years and seen so much content since, and have all got our own taste or whatever, you can appreciate the quality. And yeah, it's just a guy punching, saying "pow," and the Riddler says what, but to be able to entertain multiple generations on multiple levels simultaneously and still have element there, he'll say, you know, in the same way Adam West Batman may quip something that's a joke, he may give you some real game that's like shit. That's why a lot of people looked at Adam West Batman as a paternal character in the way that I would say, and I realized recently, man, that Kevin Conroy Batman was a very a necessary paternal energy for me. I didn't even realize that, man. And that hit me. For different, you know, it's a different take. And this is why I love Batman. So if somebody's an incel and Sparkly Boy does something to them and it's for the positive, because that's why Batman's such a great character. Yeah, because the whole point of Batman is taking the shit that should make you feel the worst and using it to do the best thing you possibly can do. Holy shit, is that a fucking great message of a character's ethos or fucking what? Holy shit. That's incredible. And so there's been a lot of shit made this Batman. There's a lot of been good, bad, whatever. But that's an incredible archetype to base everything on. And then you get the aesthetics of his outfit and different versions of the outfit and how malleable a character can be to where Adam West's version feels valid, Kevin Conroy's version feels valid, and I haven't mentioned him, and he deserves his credit. Michael Keaton's version feels valid. Val Kilmer's version feels valid. What's my guy who did Brave and the Bold? His version feels valid. Whoever who did the voice actor. Was it Diedrich Bader? I mean, obviously Kevin Conroy. Other voice actors. Shit, when motherfucking RoboCop. God damn it. I'm about to call him Alex Murphy. RoboCop. Peter Weller. He did The Dark Knight Returns, the animated movie. He was Batman for that. His version feels valid. Christian Bale, if I didn't mention, his version feels valid. Even George Clooney has some validity to his version, which was also teased in The Flash, which was a terrible movie, but fucking Michael Keaton took it seriously, had a great performance in a bad movie. That's some, well, it wasn't Iverson, but that's some putting up numbers on a bad team. You know, Michael Keaton in The Flash damn near had a Russell Westbrook on the Wizards-like season. He didn't have enough screen time to have that much impact, but it's that if you are on YouTube, just watch a supercut of Michael Keaton's moments from The Flash. It's only like 10 minutes or whatever screen time. He's still fucking cold at it. He still puts together a cold Batman even in his old age in a shitty movie because he's a cold motherfucker. It wasn't enough to save that shitty movie, but it's still cold as shit. It's worth watching. I would recommend, if you're a Batman fan, it's only 5 or 10 minutes of your time. If you can find a supercut of Michael Keaton's moments, there's going to be some bullshit in it, you know, because it's fucking Ezra Miller's in The Flash. I mean, what the fuck? But it's decent. So, yeah, I love this fucking character. I'm not going to love everything that they produce. Certain things I'm going to give a chance, certain things are not. But there's a certain benefit of the doubt that the character has that may lead to me giving it more of a pass than any other lore that could exist and does exist. It took them fucking 6 years to call Robert just to do his own sequel. No, it was 4 years. And it'll be 6 years when it releases, I believe. Is it 2018 when it releases? Or 2028 is not 2018 anymore. 2028, I think, is when it releases. And this young Batman, who's already older than Christian Bale, will have been 6 years in between. He can't be young Batman no more. He's got to be experienced, on point, cold motherfucking Batman by the time the second one comes out. I'll probably, unless it looks unbearably bad. If it looks unbearably bad, I won't give it a chance. I'm not going to lie. I can do, people are going to be booking. Shout out to Michael Keaton. He's an incredible actor in general. Like, Michael Keaton is a cold fucking actor. If you're a Michael Keaton fan, 2 Michael Keaton movies to check out. That one is kind of superhero related, Birdman. It's very much an expressive of Birdman. If you're a Batman fan, Birdman's still a good watch, and if you're a Keaton fan, it's dealing with Michael Keaton's own experience as being Batman, and it's allegorical to that. It is a fictional movie, but there's a lot of Michael Keaton's experience as Batman being channeled through the movie, and it's a fucking it's very interesting. It's almost like, even though it is a work of fiction, I talked about political Unreal. If you want to see Michael Keaton's Unreal, it's called Birdman. And there's other shit to it. It's not just Michael Keaton's Unreal. It has its own aesthetic. It's one continuous shot. Obviously, there's edits, and it's also allegorical to film, and there's a lot of other subtext. But one of the main components is Michael Keaton's struggle and his character rigging, but it is so obviously supposed to be Keaton as well. His struggle to be an artist when he's known primarily for one character, and he doesn't feel like his artistry has been given the what it deserves, but he also has this love-hate relationship with the character and still identifies as that character, and the complicated emotions he's dealing with, but they're channeling it through a fictional character that is very allegorical to Keaton's own experience. I'm like, that's a very good movie. So if you love Michael Keaton, I would check out Birdman. Maybe you won't love it as much because there are, it's a movie. It's a little artsy fartsy, but I love that. I love that movie. I really do. And if you want to see something has nothing to do with a superhero, nothing to do with Batman. He has a movie that I saw in college, I believe, called The Paper. And man, that movie's fucking good. And obviously, he has other movies. He has The Founder. He has obviously he was in fucking, was it No Way Home? What was it? Homecoming. But The Paper, that's about I already spoiled Birdman, but I'm not gonna spoil everything. You gotta watch it. That's still a good movie. But the premise, he works for a newspaper in the 90s, early 90s, late 80s. And that is set in the time it's in, right? But that's when it came out. I think I watched it in like a journalism class or a media class, and it was it's a critique on media, and it's as valid now as it was then. Though now that media responsibility is in the hands of people like me and the new social media sphere, and it's a critique on the balance between getting a story correct and being the first to print. And it's just as valid in the YouTube and social media age as it was in the newspaper age that it was made. It's a really good movie. And there's other Michael Keaton movies I could recommend, but those two off the top of my head. Oh yeah, he is great in Jackie Brown. He's a bad motherfucker. Yeah, Jackie Brown. Obviously, he's not necessarily the star, but he's a big part of that. And I didn't know you were still here, Rave. Appreciate you being here. Michael Keaton's a cold motherfucker. Speaking of, they hyping up Robert Pattinson. I don't know if that Michael Keaton ever see this shit. Who they're trying to tell you Robert Pattinson is, Michael Keaton is him. He's so much of a better actor. I would argue to the death of acting quality. I am no film critic. I am not Roger Ebert. I do not consider myself a movie file or a movie buff. I like some movies. I like a lot of stuff. I'm not trying to rap. Passed out on the stream, woke up still on here. My bad, man. Yeah, this has gone over 5 hours. We're about to end. But Michael Keaton is so much better of an actor than Robert Pattinson. And I know that, Richard, you probably think, no shit. There are people who would argue, are you fucking crazy? Watch, and then again, watch all these different roles. Watch him in Jackie Brown, then watch him in The Paper, which again I would recommend, very underrated. Watch him in Batman, the 2 Batmans he did, and you can watch him in Flash you want. Then watch him in Birdman. Then watch him in The Founder. These are different fucking people. This guy, this fucking hack. And he was a decent, smarmy asshole in The Odyssey. I'll give him that. We're not gonna just shit on him. But fucking Sparkly Boy? And people are acting like him slandering fucking Chris Hansen, he's some fucking genius. Get the fuck out of here. Fuck you. Are you kidding me? Not you, but the person who thinks that. Not really. I'm talking about the argument, but you know what I mean. I just can't buy this shit. I don't buy this shit. And I don't see what am I missing that other people could possibly think this. Fuck. See him in Homecoming. And see the Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming. That's a bad movie. That's another carry job by fucking Keaton on a bad team, still putting up numbers. Fuck. And you're gonna compare him to this fucking hack? And I didn't see The Lighthouse. And so I'm not into Dune. I'm not into Dune. Some people like those Dune movies. I don't know how good or bad he is in that. But I saw him in Batman. I saw him in some other shit. And obviously he's known as a sparkly motherfucker. And I see the trailers of what he's doing and I didn't see Tenet. I've been meant to see Tenet. I know I said I'm a Nolan fan. I haven't seen everything. I need to see Tenet. I need to see Dunkirk. But see, another thing with Nolan films, to go on that tangent real quick, I really like to see him in the cinema. If I can't see him in the cinema, they're not quite as good. But I still love Nolan, right? And still owe him, those Nolan films were a huge part of, I talked about all the different versions of Batman that spoke to me while giving a slight pass to the incels who like the Batman 2022 and Robert Pattinson. And that costume, boy, I don't know if the rumors were true that Doomcock said where there was an issue on set with him not doing enough from a physique standpoint. And there was a lot of discussion on whether he was anti-steroids and he was trying to have subtext, or whether or not he was trolling because he did have some definition. I'm not saying he wasn't, he had some definition, but he's just he has such a skinny build. That costume looked like the costume in movie. I mean, there are times when it doesn't look terrible, but a lot of the time you kind of think of like a kid wearing like a kid wearing his dad's suit type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can believe from watching that movie that the rumors that Doomcock, who was a YouTuber for you, like, who the hell is Doomcock? Pause. He's a youth, and that was part of his joke, just like we did with Sentient. It's a joke. So that's some people's name. But he's another influential YouTuber to me. I don't watch as much of his content as I used to. But back in the day when that movie was getting made and around the time of release, there was a rumor that Doomcock reported, and he was a rumor channel. I don't know what he's doing now. And every rumor wasn't true, and Lord knows that became infamous. But he reported that, again, between the director, staff, I can't remember specifically who, but staff involved with the filming of that movie had an issue with the costuming and had issues with his work ethic relative to his physique. I will defend him on the basis that he shouldn't do steroids for his health, and he should not be forced to do steroids for his health. And I agree with him not doing steroids. So I'll give him that. We're going to be objective. But, he should have put on some more weight. You do not, I don't know why. I do know why. We as men and women who are fitness oriented have to be more realistic in what is possible naturally, not just from a standpoint of there's a difference in what steroids looks like naturally, but in the positive. Like, hey, you can still have an incredible physique without steroids. An incredible physique. You can still put on some size without steroids. Now, is it going to meet the crazy internet standards of some people? I don't fucking know. Everyone has their own standard. But you do not need steroids to have a good physique. You do not need to fuck yourself up to have a good physique. And I'm not trying to say, oh, you're judging men, pause, man. No. He looked gangly and weird in the costume. It looked like it didn't fucking fit him. It looked like it was too fucking oversized for him. You know how motherfuckers make fun of how we dressed in the 2000s and 90s? I mean, Batman, what's that fucking, I don't remember the Richard, you're here, we're wrapping up the stream. Whatever fucking Slam magazine where the guy has the super baggy pants, that's almost what I thought Robert Pattinson looked like in that damn costume. That's to me what I thought he looked like. And maybe not to that extent, because that's a pretty extreme example. And if I'm clipping this out, because I might, I will include that. But man, he did not look that great in that costume. And I believe that he, and I don't want to speak to his work ethic. I mean, like I said, he didn't look totally like he didn't work out at all, even though that's what he said. I can believe he worked out, but he put no effort in trying to bulk up. And as a result, I think that costume was way too large for him. And as a result, the costume is an issue with the movie. Though he's in it a lot. And that, you know, you mentioned, I think I was talking to you about the fucking, not the fucking, pause. One more for the road. I was talking to you about Arkham, because Arkham did release his costume as a skin, the Arkham Knight, after a long time. No, I'm being objective. I gotta be an objective commentator. That's what VigilanteWilliamson has to be. So even if I'm not a fan of somebody, I got to say all that I can say and be as fair as possible, even to motherfuckers I don't like. We're starting to carve out what the ethos of the VigilanteWilliamson guy is doing. I agree with you. I don't know what type of objectivist. I don't know what it is. I don't know what I'm a vigilanteist. I don't know what it is. There may be a term for what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to be as objective and be as fair. I want to be as fair to people as I constantly can. And even for things, nobody, you know, I stole this from Hatman, and I may word it wrong. Nobody is so good. Nobody is so perfect that they're above criticism. Nobody is so low that they're above praise. So, and I try to be as objective and as fair as I can. So even though I did not like him, did not like his movie, and he was not the only problem. I would blame the director more than I would blame him. And even though I did not think he tried to, he broke it. BTAS would have broke his no kill rule for 2022. Even though I think that movie is a disaster, I'm probably gonna get the second one a go because I'm still a Batman fan. And if that's some people's Batman, that's as valid as anything. You know, some of those people are saying shit that is just fucking wild, and speaking as if it's fucking wild. But I'm starting to see more pushback on that shit. Thank the Most High. There was a point where you were not seeing anyone push back at the effusive love of this fucking movie. It's not good, man. There's a lot of mistakes. There's some cool moments doing the lower level Nolan thing. There's something about showing something really cool inside the camera without a bunch of CG. There's a lot of CG in that. Showing a cool set and having some cool sounding music. There's something to that I like and other people like. and there's some parts of the movie that achieve that. But he's not as good at Nolan at doing the Nolan thing, and his writing sucks, and it relies more on his writing than it should, and it's long and it's drawn out, like this stream has been. Yeah, Glazers and incels are so loud on the internet. I just made one, apparently, because I gotta clip this shit out. So that's my thoughts on that Batman. And this one will probably be a 2-parter if I edit this out. I don't know how I'm gonna edit this out. I might hire somebody to edit this stream. 5 hours. I gotta look into how much that's gonna cost. I might hire somebody to edit this stream. Into to clips. This is a stream I would pay to get somebody to edit. Or I might do it myself. I gotta figure that out. I gotta look up Fiverr. If I see the cost, I got a lot of other stuff expense wise. So if I can't do it, I'm just gonna put in work over the next few weeks. Realistic, how many people know? Yeah, no one. Apparently, the people who Mouse PI did. Oh, well, you know what though? I will say this about James Gunn in particular, and we are in an era. In the same way, there's a lot of people who know who Michael Hayes is. And you got to think, should you really know who Michael Hayes is? Well, if you're a wrestling fan, you know, even if you don't know he was one of the Freebirds and whatever, you know he works for WWE and he's a part of the creative staff. So there are people who know who Michael Hayes is. In that same way, he did wrestle. Yes, he did. But he wrestled so long ago. The person, even my age, he wrestled really kind of even before my era. I remember when he started off on his own camera persona as Doc Hendricks in the WWF, but I didn't see Freebird Michael Hayes. So his career to me isn't what I think of when I think of Michael Hayes. I would say it's relatively similar, and I get it. You know what I mean? I would say from my perspective, it's relatively similar. Now, somebody who's a little older than me, who remembers seeing Freebird Michael Hayes, might agree with that. Like, no, Freebird because he was a performer, and they use the Freebird rule as a thing. So you know what I'm saying? Everyone knows Hacksaw Jim Duggan is who won the first Rumble. I would like to think people do, but not everyone is as knowledgeable as you and knowledgeable as us on this. And there are some people who are as knowledgeable as you are on wrestling with film. And there's millions of those people. Now, relative to the mass audience, because there's 350 million people in America and 1 billion people, arguably, maybe even more, who either are of the West or interested in Western culture and entertainment. So relative to the mass, no, that 1 million or 2 who know who James Gunn, maybe a few more since he got the DC job, and that don't, because there's people who know Kevin Feige is. He's the head guy at Marvel. He's been the head guy at Marvel for years. A lot of people do know who he is, just like a lot of people do know who Steven Spielberg is. But does everybody know who Matt Reeves is? No, no one knows. A few, obviously his fans do. It's more niche. So yeah, and Gunn is kind of in between those. He's not Steven Spielberg, where every mainstream person, at least of a certain age, you might be, obviously Zoomer's like, who the fuck is he? But like back in the day, everybody knew who Steven Spielberg was, right? And so yeah, those top directors and top behind the scenes creative, just like a Dr. Dre, not shout out to Dr. J, but if you think of producers, a lot of people would. Even people who don't know what production is might know about Dr. Dre and Pharrell, but they may not know about Alchemist, though there are millions of people who do know about Alchemist, right? So that there's levels to this shit. So yeah, I know I'm overly nuanced. I know I'm overly caring about things. That's the Vigilante Williamson in a nutshell. And this has been the craziest 6 hours of my streaming career. They all made music, true, but there's other people who made music, who made great music. There are great producers who don't have the same notoriety, but do have more there are levels to this shit, as was once a common saying not too long ago, about 10 years ago. Yeah, hits, but there's people who make hits. You don't know every producer that made a hit, and even some that me, who's more inclined than others, wouldn't. On that bombshell, as Fizz says bye-bye, so are we. On that bombshell, it's time to end. It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. I mean every word. I appreciate you guys putting up with me in this crazy-ass 6-hour stream. 5 hours and 45 minutes. We're rounding up. I am about to drink a bunch of water and then try to sleep. Cause, you know, been dehydrated as fuck. So if you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share and subscribe, please do that. If you can hype the video, I'm not sure if you're able to, because I don't know how the hype system works. Please do. But even if you've done none of these things, even if you only watched a piece of this stream, and I think Fizz, Richard, did you guys go coast to coast in the Royal Rumble? Shout out to Shawn Michaels. Shout out to Ric Flair. Shout out to, how many people have gone coast to coast? I'm gonna have to say that off stream because I'm tired. But thank you guys for going coast to coast in the Royal Rumble, and a lot of the people who had a decent amount of time in the ring. If you don't know what I can explain that allegory, but I'm glad to get out of here because I got to sleep. All right, talk to you guys later. Peace.